I didn't.
Yeah, you didn't. What? Bro, you're a horrible.
I forgot to say this off.
What do you do?
I'll be back, guys.
Like, what do you do?
No.
Like what?
Oh
Open
my
the garage while
God.
you're gone. Open the garage while you're gone. I'm not.
Hey, y'all hit
Yeah,
live.
bro.
Y'all just hit
Rate
live.
the meal.
too.
How y'all fucking with the
Oh.
meal? Rice, chicken, potato. Y'all fucking with it? So
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie to you. You are eating like a entire like full course
a
meal.
full course meal,
Like,
bro.
doing,
Water,
doing the pie.
and I got my
What?
beverage too. Got
Okay.
my water, no cap.
Nah.
He's in it.
Yeah, I'm about to be
There
fired.
we
I sent it.
Yeah,
When's your birthday?
My birthday?
Oh, no. There's a,
What's
you know,
your
little
sign?
tradition
Shub,
around-
shub,
people
shub,
get fired
what's
on
your
their birthday.
Shub,
I
what's your sign?
gotta know because all the girls' first question is like, "What's your sign?" So
Yeah, but that's what I
Oh,
said. That's
yeah.
what I said.
Yeah.
Shub, what's your sign? Shub,
yeah,
what's
I'm
your
a
sign?
Capricorn. Yeah, January 13th. So
You be telling them the truth, or sometimes you just lie. and be
I'm
like,
about to say
okay,
you'll
what
never
to say.
lie.
Dude, that's the thing. Like, if you lie about your sign, you got 1 out of 12 to choose from, right? So like, you could guess wrong because like, what sign you gonna lie with? That's a good sign.
But-
generally.
But
I
it's
be
not.
saying
It's
anything.
not. No, I'm about to say.
Anything
This is
that's
the
I be
point. This is what you do.
saying
This is what you do. This is how you get
Nah,
them,
nah,
Shub. This is how
yeah.
you get them. When they ask you your sign, you be like, "Oh, say I'm a Sagittarius."
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, you remind me so much of a Sagittarius. No, bitch, I
Yeah.
lied. I'm a Scorpio. Like that.
That's not
That's why you
stupid,
lie
it's
about it. That's why you lie
That's
about
exactly
it.
what I do.
know
Hey,
that-
Hey, and the
exactly
biggest
what I
red
do.
flag when they go into that moon rising shit, I leave.
Oh my
I
God.
leave. I pick up the
Nah.
check on site.
When they
I
do that,
leave.
that mean they really know what they talking about. Like,
Yeah,
when,
that's
when
the
she
talking I don't
tell
want to
you
know.
your moon
So,
rising, when she said, "What's your birthday? What time were you born? And where were you born?" She said, "Oh yeah, you're a this,
Yeah, I've
this, this."
had that.
Nigga,
I
look
said,
at
I
you
don't
like,
know. I was
oh,
born.
I'm like,
what
I
do
don't
you
know when I was
no.
born. You want me to go ask my mom, bro? What the hell?
I've never even seen my birth certificate. You asking me what time I was born? What the fuck? Come on, bro. What are you talking about? We're live, right? Yeah, we're live. All right, guys, welcome back to another episode of the Third Stringers podcast. I don't know what that sound was, but we back. Yeah, it's back on a Tuesday. We're kind of early. We was 4 minutes late to being early, so I don't know how that really worked, but we here. Before we do get started, I do have my co-host with me, my regular, beautiful, my brothers, everything. JTR, how you feeling?
I'm feeling great. Y'all ever just do something because you're bored? Like
Yeah.
today,
Like a
I just
podcast?
like today I just like made the 2K clan. That shit.
What do you mean?
That's
You
what
made
I
a
do on my daily life. I just made a 2K.
Yo, father
Grinding
said
DF?
made a podcast.
clan. I'm the new grinding DF.
Nah.
You finna play your whole gang and rob them? No cap. Larry, how you feeling today, bro?
I ain't gonna lie to you. Hold on, give me like 2 seconds because I told you, I'm handling business. I gotta open my front door for my worker. But I'm about to flex. I'm taking over this. I'm about to flex. I'm taking over this part of the pod right here. Hey, I went to DreamCon this weekend. The littest experience I have ever had, bro. Lit experience. Yes, I'm flexing on y'all my DreamCon bonnet. Yes, nigga, the shit was amazing. Shout out
Oh,
everybody.
that's a DreamCon bonnet? Let me see.
Hold on.
What's up,
Ah,
Dream?
that's your
Oh,
heart.
sexy. Oh, shit.
That's your heart. That's your heart. Yeah.
I just had to flex right quick. Shit was amazing. I can't wait to go back next year. And if you wasn't there, you need to come next year.
I definitely want to bring it up. I don't know how long I got you, but yeah, I definitely wanted to bring that up because you was definitely living people's dreams out there.
Nah.
You was living people's dreams out there. Father, how you feeling today, bro?
I'm feeling pretty good, man. Just can't wait to see what happens with the Heat. If they do anything or nothing. Well,
They're not doing anything. They're
Even
not
if they
doing-
do anything, what do you guys?
I don't
really
think they're doing anything.
They are
bro.
begging
what are you
Udonis
really
Haslam to sign with them. Come on.
when
They
you're
brought a whole
Nah.
team to UD too. And as you can
Nah.
see, we have another guest with us. Most of our podcasts are with guests, so y'all should be used to this. We have Shubs, OVOLakeShow. How you feeling, Shub?
How y'all doing? Hey, thanks for having me. Appreciate it. It's the first time. doing
Appreciate you
something like
coming. Appreciate you coming.
this. StreamYard. Now I know what the website is, but yeah, we only get popping. Appreciate y'all.
Is this your first time on a podcast?
Under this alias, yeah.
Oh wow.
What other aliases did you
Twitter.
go under?
I mean, my regular name. I had podcasts like in the past, like for myself and stuff with friends in high school. But they all like took a life of their own. Like I had 2 separate podcasts, like 2 separate seasons for it too. Like one was a personal about like my personal life, and then I had a basketball pod like peak pandemic too. So, but yeah,
Wow, that's what's up, bro.
appreciate you guys.
Yep. Appreciate you coming on, bro. We are gonna get into some, what you do and everything like that. For the people who don't know you, Why do they call you Shub? And why do they call you OVO Lake Show?
Yeah, so I didn't really get into like the content creator stuff. Like apparently everyone I know is like using an alias, like whatever. Like what? Ain't nobody at birth named Legend of Winning, you know. So
Yeah.
I didn't get the memo. I didn't get the memo, and my name was unique enough. So I think on my profile I just put Shub because I know no one in the world is gonna have my same name. But then I thought people were gonna use my handle, whatever. So I just combined the two things I love the most, which is hip hop and basketball, and my favorite team. So I just came up with that, and it just clicked for me. So yeah, it's just kind of how it came about.
That's what's up. You do. You are one of the bigger faces on Twitter for like a Lakers point of view, like a Lakers fan. You are more known as that. How did you get into that part of your like what you're doing? Having that Twitter account. It started off with a Kobe account. Now, when I first seen it, I don't know when I've seen it, but when I first saw it, it was a lot more Kobe. Now I feel like with the integration of spaces, everything like that, you're a lot more Lakers oriented. When did you get that started, and what was the thoughts behind getting that?
Yeah, no, for sure. So going through high school, I was always on Twitter, just like retweeting funny shit, just like everyone is, right? Like
Yeah.
Instagram was popping off like when I was in high school. But I knew Twitter, I just felt like it was more accessible and like more content you could like and diverse content you could digest, like just as a user. So I was always on Twitter through high school, posting stuff, high school, like so that was my favorite application for sure. And then when college had got busy, never was on Twitter that much, but what happened, I remember the date. So the Lakers played the Clippers in the bubble, the first exhibition game in the bubble. That was July 30th, 2020. I was like, in 2020, y'all know, like that was when the pandemic hit. And I was just like, we're all cooped up in our place. Like, there's got
Oh,
to
this
be
is the bubble game, or is this the regular season game?
the bubble game, the bubble game.
The bubble
Because
game,
like the
yeah,
world
yeah,
shut
I
down,
remember.
and this was the first time they were bringing it back up in Orlando.
Yeah,
So I was like, damn. So we gonna be in our house anyways, watching these games. There's got to be. I love Twitter so much, and I know there's a ton of people. There's got to be a subsection of NBA fans that talk exclusively basketball on Twitter. And I was like, there's got to be. So I just made this account. I was just gonna live tweet the games because I do that on my personal anyways. And you know, the girls I go with at high school and college, they don't really like understand who Danny Green is and why he's missing 7 so let me get more like a let me get more like an aligned audience, and boom, I knew what NBA Twitter was like that day on. And it is, we'll get into that, but it is violent, brutal, whatever you want to call it. So July 30th, 2020, that's when it started because I just combined the two things I love the most, which was Twitter at the time and basketball. So that's kind of came about.
So when
And then
did you start?
point,
Oh,
my bad.
Go ahead.
To your
No,
second point, I was
go
going
ahead.
to say started as a Kobe account because I knew I wanted to like honor his legacy with everything that happened. But then when games were coming on, I'm live tweeting anyways, so that's always going to happen. And you're right, with Twitter Spaces, there's only so many discussions that can be centered around Kobe and like what he did in the past and stuff. So I feel like talking about the Lakers, which is live and current, that's just kind of how it came about. So
Now you brought up the Twitter Spaces. I know a lot of us are on Twitter Spaces. I think all of us do frequently be on it, or we had stretches where we were frequently on it.
Yeah.
Why did you want to go on Twitter Space? Because there are a lot of accounts, especially ones that like, after like the 5,000 range, the 7,000 range, the followers, they just won't go on for Twitter Spaces. They don't feel the need to. And truly, I understand. I don't get it, but why did you feel the need to start your own Twitter Spaces, start letting people hear your voice and everything like that?
yeah, no, 100%. That's a great question. So Twitter Spaces came about, I think, when the NBA season. Y'all can probably check that for me, but right around the time when like NBA tipped off in October. And I'm just like I was just always born a talker. Like literally, like elementary school, like my mom would like like destroy me because I would bring home straight A's, but like the teacher comment section, you know, and
Oh
they
man. Yeah.
Yeah.
straight up, like lack of better words, like this kid won't shut up. Like, I was just like,
Nah, they was dragging you like
honestly,
that.
bro, they were on my ass, bro, every single day. So since birth, I've just always been a talker. And so like just to talk hoops even more, I know like the words I'm saying, I actually prefer if it was all spaces, not just tweets anymore, because I was thinking about this yesterday. I just hate getting misinterpreted so much, and you're bound to get misinterpreted with 140 characters.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I've never been shy to like explain like my points and like what I mean. And so I was super happy about Twitter Spaces, and that's kind of how I got my start. And you mentioned the 5,000, 7,000. I don't think I would have grown where I'm at today without Twitter Spaces, because people started coming up, and we shout out to Late Night Lake Show. They are a huge platform. Did post game spaces every single game this year. Shout out Lakers Guru, Stace, those people who run it. One day it just came up as a speaker, gave my analysis on the game in 1 minute. In 1 minute, next thing I know, I'm a regular, coming up every single night, meeting the same people, or like making a lot of good friends. And yeah, just came about from there, and that actually grew my account more than anything. I don't think I'd be where I'm at today without Twitter Spaces, for sure.
I think a lot of people could say that. Even
Yeah,
the bigger ones, Twitter Spaces have crazy push people's platforms, and even has like I'm forgetting the word, but even Twitter Spaces has the ability to take your fans from one app to something else. So let's say you're creating content on
it's
YouTube or
portable.
TikTok. Yeah, it's portable.
Mhm.
So you can take your platform everywhere. Even just regular Twitter, if it was just tweets, I don't know if it has the ability to do that like Twitter Spaces does.
Yeah,
So shout out Twitter Spaces for real. I
seriously.
spoke about content creation for a second. Have you ever thought about going into something like that, content creation?
Yeah, so it's an ongoing discussion, because like I've been grateful enough to make like a lot of good friends. Like, I mean, y'all like YouTubers and like legit content creators, like what you guys are doing,
Yeah.
and they're saying like you can't. I mean, shout out to Twitter. It's like made my platform and everything, but you can't monetize, everything on Twitter. Like, I'm
Yeah.
fortunate enough to be making like pocket change on Twitter through some deals on the back end, but like to where I want to go and like what I could use this for, it's can't be monetized on Twitter. But there's just so many like politics and like the way like you want to carry things out, because I'm just witnessing all the other avenues, and like you said, the portability of these other accounts that are quote unquote my competitors. How are they translating on other avenues and platforms? Is it really working? Right.
Yeah.
So I want to. I'm looking at a few examples, and it's definitely working, from like Twitter to X platform and this. So I'm kind of in like that strategy phase of like what's really going to work best for me, and like how do I have a full execution plan for what I'm trying to do. And part of that, and what I'm seeing around like this kind of lane that we're all in, right? This NBA Twitter lane, just NBA lane, is like collaboration is huge. Like, look at you guys. Like,
Yeah.
I'm sure you guys couldn't have this without all four of you guys all play like an important part and things like that. So
Yeah.
for me, it's just finding someone.
Before you continue, and I ain't gonna lie to you, I wouldn't say all that now.
I did the backstory. I did the backstory.
Ain't gonna lie to you, we could do without him. I love you, him, and
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie to you, we could do it.
Yeah, straight up.
Hey, we can do it.
Yo, we can do it without him
Yo,
too. We can do it without him too.
I missed the topics one day. One day.
Straight up. Any one of y'all for sure. But yeah, that's just kind of where I'm at. Is just like I understand like what I bring. I understand like the voice I have. I understand like what I could do. It's just almost finding like someone equally as passionate like in this than I am, and it has not even about the knowledge. Like, I don't need you to know every contract we're talking about in the NBA, but just like, do you have the drive and vision? Do our goals like kind of align in this? If so, let's talk. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's kind of where I'm at with it, and in trying to decide like whether I'm trying to like push this out in the platform. But
Have you thought about what it would be though? Would it be like a TikTok, a YouTube, a podcast? Like, have you thought about what you want to do with it?
Yeah, 100%. I think like what you guys are doing, like a vodcast and things like that. I think those are really hype right now. Like clip outs, YouTube shorts, like that's what's really popping right now. And TikTok, getting those kind of instant reactions, Instagram reels, right? It's not so much about long form content like 2 hours in 55 minutes talking about Donovan Mitchell trade potential. You know what I'm saying? Like, that sounds great, and like I'm sure a ton of people can do that with the select amount of people. That's not what's going to hit your audience. That's just from my vantage point. So it's just about aligning and thinking about it. But I think there's some element where I just got to be like, you know what, just go for it. And so I think that's coming up soon. So
the biggest issue with the short form content so far is and that includes TikTok shorts, Instagram reels, is that again monetization.
Yeah.
they haven't
Mhm.
found really a way to monetize it. TikTokers are making dirt.
Oh my
Unless
god.
you're Addison Ray.
Yeah.
I don't want to butcher the guy's name, but he's the most followed guy on TikTok right now. You guys know what I'm talking about. I forget his name. Damn. Unless you're them,
Yeah.
this garage's door is open.
He did it.
Unless you're them on TikTok, you're not making money. And then on YouTube Shorts, there's guys that are pulling in millions and millions and millions per short,
And
making
get
like
like $12.
$2. Yeah,
Yeah.
dead ass. So that's the biggest issue with the short form content. But we've looked into it ourselves.
Yeah.
We want to post more of it. I see new accounts every day on my YouTube Shorts page, like when I'm scrolling, of new accounts, new podcasts, a lot of it being basketball,
Yeah.
and I want to get into that as well. Get into that. We just haven't really fully have done it the way we could, but
Right.
I definitely see what you are coming from there. Um, I know you said some of the hesitation was finding the people. Besides that, is there anything that's kind of preventing you from starting? Have you given a timetable? If someone doesn't come through, I'm gonna just start by myself. Have you ever thought about something like that?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think right now for me it's just like gathering the right resources, because like if I'm gonna do something, like I want it to be done right. Like I opened with, like I did podcasts with friends because like that was popping off like 2 separate times, and like the reasons they didn't pan out is because of lack of commitment, right? Like from other people or like myself, or like for some issues and stuff. And so that's why I'm like being really careful, because like I know what my platform can do, and like I see the tweets that like, hey, check out my YouTube video. I just made one about this player. Like, go check it out. The performances on that is super unknown and stuff. So if I'm gonna do it, like, I want to be sure like it's being carried out correctly and like in the cleanest form like possible. Like if I'm gonna do like a podcast, like I'd be willing to invest in like the best kind of cameras, the best kind of production and things like that. Like, because like low key, like I mean, this is like public, but like I work at Bleacher Report already. So like in a
Oh,
different
word?
space, it's like that. Yeah. So my day-to-day job, I work at Bleacher Report in like a different scope. But the reason I chose this job and like to go to this company is because like what it provides, and like the lane that I'm doing on the side at night, it lines up with like where I'm at right now. You know what I'm saying? So like if I'm gonna do something, I want to do it right, to then maybe eventually, present to like a legit, ESPN, Sports Center, and Bleacher Report, House of Highlights, things like that, to see if it's like legitimate to carry out on something crazy like that. So
I don't know if you can get into it. Is it the job that you have with Bleacher Report? Is it NBA based? Like, or is it a broader type of thing?
yeah, so my background is like in sales from like school and stuff like that. So it's like around that kind of sphere. But yeah, like the social departments like right next door, like Slack channels, y'all know how that goes, like
Yeah.
message away and things like that. So I'm just trying to be smart with it, but I just know that that's what's kind of stopping me, and I don't really have a deadline. And if it's like certain that I'm gonna do it alone, I'm gonna like give it 100%, because like with like the best kind of quality and things like that. It's because like that's just kind of the way I do things right now. So
How do you view your Twitter account then? Have you thought about how long you want to do it? Have you really given like thought about because I always wonder when you have an account like that on Twitter, and you said it yourself, it's not much monetization.
yeah.
What's your motivation to like go with it or keep trying to build that platform up? What would be your motivation?
Yeah, that's a good question. Because honestly, like we're about to hit like 2 years right now. It's still fun for me. Honestly, like it's really still fun for me. You know what I'm saying? Like I still enjoy it. Like it's never been. It used to be about like, okay, like this got a great reaction, things like that. And but I would send to like my personal friends, like, yo, look at this comment I just got. Like I remember like one of my first Kobe clips that went viral. Like someone commented like, this is amazing. Like I'm gonna go show my son this. And whether or not he showed his son, like, does not matter. Like, for all I know, that son's watching right now what I clipped up. So, I mean, that's just kind of like what's in it for me in a sense. And like the people I look up to in this space, if they can see like what I'm doing through this consistency, that's like what I'm in it for. I've been fortunate enough to be in the same Twitter spaces as Kendrick Perkins, Ray Westbrook. Like we're gonna talk. George Sedano, Joy Taylor. Like I've talked to all these like people we see on TV, all the time. So like that just like what does it for me, like right now, and it's just still fun to me. Like the Kobe like highlights and clips and interviews that I would go home after school and like type in on YouTube and watch over and over again, like to repost that now and show this kind of younger generation, like that gives me like a sense of self in a sense. So like it's still fun for me. If I get caught up in like we're talking about other platforms which will require more work, like a YouTube or TikTok, I think that's when you'll see me kind of trail off. But it's still fun for me. I love typing in all caps when fucking Braun makes like 6 threes in a row, like, you know what I'm saying? Or typing all caps when Russ is, dribbling it out of bounds. So it's still fun.
Yeah, this is insane. You talk to the great Ravion. That is insane.
Oh, hey, Ravion.
Yeah,
man, that's your boy.
That's your boy.
That's your boy.
The late great Ravion. I'm not gonna lie to you, this. Hey, man, I don't know why you acting. We all know that's your people. We know you.
Yeah,
This
you
is
fuck,
not
you
my
fuck
people,
Ravion,
bro. I was in
You
that
were
shit
trying to
like
get me
twice.
into Ravion spaces, bro. You
And
were in there every
Because
night. You were
I
like,
know
"Shut,
you.
brother, you
Wait,
gotta
yo,
get in
I
here,
hate
bro. They
when you-
I
love
just
you
I
want
here.
to
hate
They
when
warn
you
love
say
you."
Sub that like
Be part
man's
of the
going to
Shiesty?
take care. Man's going to take care of the serious part of the pod. But when you hear me and Founder and JTR really start talking, just know at that point all hope is lost. So we're going to give you your time to be serious for now. That's why we're just here listening.
Nah.
But just know it's
Turn
going
up
to get
whenever.
real serious in a few minutes. Just warning you.
We can turn up whenever. I'll answer anything. So,
I just want to say one thing. Kobe's probably the best player or one of the only players I accept from doing these accounts. If you got like an Oscar Robertson or a Russell Westbrook fan, like come on, bro. If
Oh
you
my
post
God.
those highlights, I'm blocking you. But Kobe, come on, who don't love Kobe? Like, come on, everyone wants to see Kobe. I respect that. We did just get into it a little bit. You've had some history in Twitter Spaces, and it was pretty quick. And by like the NBA season started, I already knew it was going to be a good season because as soon as we got Russ, I was like, it's either going to go really, really well or really, really shit. And
and you know
after
what
the first
happened.
game, I
You
knew
know
it was
which
going
one
to
it
be
was.
shit. Yeah, after the first game, I knew it was going to be shit.
Yeah.
And then I didn't expect though his brother being in Twitter Spaces. I didn't expect after Kevin Durant. I should have probably just expected like just anything. Like I should have just expected unexpected. But all as someone just brought up the Ravions, everyone, it was. It's not like that now because the season's over. But in the first couple months of the season, that Joe was like dead ass toxic. Every night there's something going on. And it was just like that's when I was really like, yo, this shit is about to take off. And it did for a little bit. I want to bring up the specific Ray one. I remember you being up there and I remember a lot of the questions and a lot of the things that you guys were asking him. And then the day after you kind of realized like, yo, we weren't being honest with ourselves. What do you remember from that night? Or what were you thinking when Ray initially went up there?
Yeah. So so I appreciate this because like I could probably explain it. So that's what I was initially explaining is like every post game pretty much late night Lake Show, like shout out to them. Like I wouldn't have grown without them. I gave all credit to them. They have their platform. So every post game space, like Lakers Guru, if you guys know him, he's hosting that and facilitating that. So I don't remember what game it was, but just another after every post game, me and like the same 6-7 people are up, right? And Stace all of a sudden says, "Oh, I think Ray wants to come up," and I'm like, "I don't. Why are we stopping the conversation for a guy named Ray? I don't know what's going on." I see the account coming to speakers. I'm like, "Oh shit, this is crazy," and yeah, obviously, like that was kind of like the first, like, "Oh shit, like someone real is here." And then when you're a speaker and you're up there, and you see like the listeners come up from the usual 400, 500. You blink and it's 1,300. You're gonna be like, all right, this is cool. But that's sick.
Didn't it go up to like a couple thousand?
Yeah, something like that.
I think-
2,000 easily.
Yeah, it was high.
Yeah, and then we got to Bleacher Report, House of Highlights, and stuff like that. Like,
Oh yeah, you did. The clips went on to there. Yeah,
the clips
Yeah,
went
they
on there, and like other podcasts like yours, like they dissected everything I said. I had to DM them like, bro, what's going on? But yeah, it was like we came up there, and again, it's the same like Laker people, and I'm not gonna like mention names and things like that. But when other people speak, there's
Steven Adam
speaking
play
for everyone. Like when if you are talking about what person B said in that space, you're speaking for the entire space, and
Facts.
I'm person
Facts.
A in that. Person A did not say what person B said to Ray Westbrook. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
From my vantage point, what I don't get to explain in 140 characters when people are like, you were, sucking off Ray for like on Twitter, is you got to think about it. I'm not the host. That's number one. Number two, it's not my platform, right? I respect the people that are running and facilitating and moderating that, because like now I've come to do that on my own, right? I moderate spaces. I know how to dictate a conversation. From their vantage point, if Ray came up there and I started screaming, bro, what the living fuck is your brother's fucking trash? Your brother's this. He's fucking. What would he do in that situation?
Kick
They would
you
have
off.
booted you off.
Probably
Yeah.
not. He would have bounced. No, him himself would have bounced. He's like, I'm not here to. But he came in super respectfully. He was like, nah, I just came in to say a few words. I can't say a ton, yada yada yada. So in my head, I'm like, why would I go off or like challenge and things like that when he's already like kind of on edge? He should not be in this space regardless. I don't think Russ would be excited.
He was upset.
His brother's on the space, but he was upset. He wanted to say some things and speak about some other comments. So in my mind, instead of being like, yo, what, like going off and like being very aggressive, I still got asked the questions everyone wanted to answer, but just in a very polite way that people did not want me to say in that way. If you go back at the space and everyone has an audio of it, I literally say to Ray, like, yo, Ray, like, appreciate you coming on. So there's this stat, like, your brother out of 33 guards, I remember what it was, out of 33 guards that qualify, who shot 100 field goals at the rim or in the paint. Your brother ranks like 35th out of 37th in efficiency. Like, so he's not finishing at the rim. Like, can you speak on that? Like, do you know why? Verbatim, this is what he says back. Because like that's the question everyone wants to ask, right? It's like, bro, why is your brother missing layups? I just happen to provide it in a very elaborate way, in a polite way. Verbatim, this is what he says. Go back in the tape. He's like, hey, yo, let me ask you a question, bro. Let me ask you a question. Who keeps track of that stat, though? And
what does that mean?
I remember this. I remember
the question, though. Who leads the playoffs with the most triple doubles? And I'm literally rolling my. He literally
LeBron
falls
James.
I literally roll my eyes. Like, I remember me rolling my eyes, and I was like, hey, brother. And he's like, thank you. And then he never answered the question. He never answered the question.
That's so funny.
That is one of the worst parts of the Lakers season, genuinely. Yo, Russ missing layups is actually, and then his loss of athleticism as well. When you see that and he's trying to yam from like just in front of the free throw line after he just kind of blew by somebody, not really blew by him, and then he ended up missing layup. That was one of the worst parts.
No.
Didn't someone ask him if he had glasses or needed glasses?
Yes. He came up in a second space. He came up in a second space like a week or two later. I was not in that space. I was out that night. And I know the person who asked him, Michael, he goes by Two Bigs. He asked him like all serious, like same seriousness that I was going with. Like, I believe him. He was like, you think your brother needs goggles or like eyes check or something like that? And it came off as a roast. And I would laugh too, but he was dead serious because like, you gotta remember, like Laker fans, we have lost all hope, bro. Anything for this player to play better, we want to support him his best way.
No.
If you want to throw on the Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's real quick and go the next 10 game with the goggles on,
we fine with that.
We'll take whatever. So that was hilarious.
No, the mid-range bank shots were hilarious.
Mid-range bank shots.
Boom.
And then Ray's best moment too, like the whole playoff god, that took a life.
That shit was. That's why I brought this up.
Yeah,
he said
bro.
he made Steven Adams into a playoff god. Nah, that was, and he said DeAndre
Dominant
Jordan.
big man.
Yeah, bro, that was bad. Nah, that was a fun ass night. I ain't gonna lie. There's also been a lot of beef. I'm gonna ask you, like, you know what I'm talking about, like just the nut ass shit. Just motherfuckers, for people just for no reason, they just getting very emotional. And what they're getting emotional by is the stuff we just said like 5 minutes. Just Russell Westbrook. Most of the time, Russell Westbrook. It's a lot of different people, but most of the time it's Russell Westbrook. Do you care? Like, does it really bother you? Do you feel the need to give it attention? When do you feel like you need to give this quote unquote beef attention? Or when do you pick and choose, like, all right, this one I'm gonna just sit out, like he's really just chatting? When do you decide that?
That's a really good question. Are you talking about like that fan base, that like those people who stand Russ, like as a whole, or like specific people?
Just some of the things Lowe's been in him. He's
Oh,
brought you up
Jesus.
a couple of times, and it'll be like Shub said this. It was that one night where it was just everything got loose, and they was talking about how
Oh my.
Lowe said
Right.
that Kobe would be rolling in his grave, and I remember you went
Yeah.
up there. They
And
were
they
saying
took
you
his
said
space
some stuff.
down.
Yeah.
Yeah, they took his space down. They
Yeah.
said
That
you
was
was saying shit.
Yeah. So I was thinking about. I was talking to my friends the other day, and it's crazy because like how old I'm 24. Just like be straight up. So I'm 24. I'm out of school. Everything like that. The thing that it's funny with me.
Damn.
We talk about the hate part. Yeah. I'm old, bro. I'm old. The thing is I'm too old to be trolling like with the adults, but I'm too old to be like serious with the young kids, like the trolls, the 18-year-olds and things like that.
Mhm.
But I'm young, I'm too young to be trolling with the older people that are 30,
Yeah,
35.
you're in the middle
Yeah.
type of.
You know
Yeah,
what I'm
you
saying?
can't
Because
really
like
do
with
either
them,
one.
I'm the same way. Like I troll and I can get serious with whatever. But like
Yeah.
these 18 teenagers, like 17-year-olds, I can't get serious with them like when I'm
Yeah.
arguing back and forth. But with the adults that have grown ass families and shit like that, I can't troll with them. So like
Yeah.
I'm in that kind of middle ground, and it's just like, well, it's like a lose-lose situation. So I just think that's hilarious. But that specific beef, I kind of inserted myself with because like, I truly like I don't really care if I offend that and stuff like that. So what I did, I was just like, their space got taken down and people thought it was low, or low space got taken down, and I said, oh yo, these people were like the snitches,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah.
and I didn't think it was that big of a deal, but then like, anyone says snitches anytime, it's like, oh, you snitched on me to this girl, like guys joking and stuff like that. I'm pretty sure. Next thing I know, it turned into like a race thing, and like they were talking about like, yeah, no, we take that very seriously. Like you get beat up in the hood for doing that type of shit, and I had to like, rub my eyes and be like, wasn't it just a Twitter.com space being taken down? I don't really know who's
You
like
didn't actually go federal.
family
Yeah.
I was threatening or like name legacy I was throwing down. Like I didn't, so I was just confused on that. So that was just me on that type of stuff, just trolling again. So to answer your overall question, I don't really care. Like during the mid-season, it was pretty fun to troll, but like now that the season's over, everyone's like kind of calmed down.
Mm.
I go on public record and like I do antagonize like the fan base of like Russ, because like I don't respect their logic. I don't think they have a right to be like puffing their chests out and stuff like that. So it's very entertaining to me to like see the kind of logic that comes out of like the predicament that's in right now and sort of challenge that. So I do take fun in that, and like I do mess around with them a lot, which is understandable why they despise me, and that's good. That's me. That's but yeah, that kind of stuff. Hopefully it's over, which we'll get into. But
It was definitely dragged though. At some
Oh,
point,
yeah.
it was too much. At some point, I was like, yo, I don't even care about this shit no more.
no
Like
one
the
does.
shit they're talking about with Ravion, like that was an interesting man.
There was no reason for Shub to go into space and explain the situation, because Lowe even thought the same thing. Everybody thought it was a joke at first. There was no reason for him, Shub, to come back into space and explain like, no, it wasn't that deep.
Oh,
That
yeah.
shit was so
Like
funny.
he was on trial.
But even
Yeah.
not even he was, and Lowe was on
Yeah.
trial for too. And you can hear Lowe. He was talking about this shit like last month too. And a lot of people have said this. Yo, get a job. Like actually, bro. Like y'all need jobs. If you don't got a job, if you can't get a job,
Straight
get
up.
a
I'm
girl.
hiring. Hey, if you can't get a job, move to Louisiana. I'm hiring.
He'll give
Hey,
you a job.
I'll give you a job. I'm not gonna lie to you. If y'all can't get jobs, come work for me. Come clean some
Because
business. I got you.
y'all should not be on Twitter Space for that long, and y'all should not be this emotional about somebody that you probably either never seen their face, don't know their real name, never seen them in person, don't know what they're doing, or if they're mad or upset about this. Like it's very childish. It got dragged very quickly.
I
It
got
was
I
at
got
its
death
peak though.
threats. I got death threats for saying Carmelo Anthony. I got death threats. Seriously, I got death threats for
Nah,
saying
that's
Carmelo
crazy.
Anthony,
serious?
for saying Carmelo Anthony wasn't a productive player anymore. This was like in January.
Nah, that's
I'm being dead
crazy.
serious. I won't say any names and stuff like that, but in a very like low key space, like with friends and stuff like that, like this person, he stated like my old address on a space. Like
Oh,
it was like
shit.
40, 50 people. it was an old address, which is why I was laughing the whole time. But he actually like got emotional and was like, "Yo, I'll pull up. Like, I'll find
Carmelo
you.
Anthony.
I'll find you at the gas station, stuff like that." No, because he was mad. Like that was the origination of like the tension with me, is because on a post game space, I said I didn't think Carmelo Anthony was a productive player anymore. Because
Wait, we're talking about old Carmelo or peak Carmelo?
No. Current Carmelo. Current
on the
Carmelo.
Lakers,
You
Carmelo.
can't be mad about that. Come on.
As a
bro.
Laker.
Yeah, nah, they're
I
crazy.
think Melo went from like 1 for 11 from 3, and that's his best asset. And this has been going on for 5-6 games. And like in that post game spaces, I was just like, I don't think Carmelo has him anymore. Yada yada yada. And people were just like, what? Like, what?
This is how people actually think on Twitter Spaces. Trying to get Twitter
Yes,
Spaces
dude.
went too far.
I'm just like,
Family
bro,
got
grown-ass men,
swatted.
bro, go start a family, dog. Like I'm just
Nah.
Go start a family's hilarious. They can't even get a job. We can drag the Twitter Spaces a little bit more. I'm gonna drag these people.
Oh no,
Yeah,
I ain't gonna lie to you.
more.
That because we
Y'all
haven't even
need jobs,
we-
bro.
we haven't even like
Spaces are
touched like
crazy.
Go for it, dog.
parts of
Nah.
Twitter space because like this nigga Ravion is truly weird. Like
It's not even
truly
just him
weird.
though. It's like
It's not
Yeah.
just him, but the nigga is weird, bro. And we gotta stop saying his name before he asks for a check, and we don't have a check to give him. Like this is crazy how weird he is, bro. Weird.
yo. Also, like Twitter in the whole. I remember after the Charlotte game where Russ had like 30 and a half at the half.
Oh man,
Literally everyone called it. When the season is over, Russ fans will go back to this game and be like, "It wasn't Russ's fault." Bro, like last week I saw like 3 posts like that, and it was just the same game. It was just the same game. Yo,
'Cause there's
don't
only
blame
one.
Russ. LeBron would have.
What month is it? What month is it right now? It's July.
July.
The season
Yeah,
is-
like I said, I had to look.
Like, what the fuck are we really doing, bro?
Nah, that shit is insane. Y'all need to go to the beach, bro. The beach feels good right
Beach is
now. It's
nice.
like 90
Yeah, nice.
degrees out here. Yo, go live life, bro. Get off of Twitter, bro. Yo, what is it? App time, FaceTime,
Screen time, yeah.
screen time.
Screen
Yeah,
time.
screen time. Y'all screen time on Twitter got to be like 10 hours, 15 hours
For real.
oh man.
weekly too.
One
Yeah,
thing, one
Just
thing
on
you said-
Twitter. Just on Twitter.
Just on
Yeah.
Twitter.
One thing you said about what Lo was saying too is like, because they were, the other side was saying like, oh yeah, no, we're in Twitter Spaces because it's keeping us from like getting into the wrong things, like getting killed or like and like selling drugs or like whatever gang activity.
Yeah.
And that's good in theory. That's great in theory. Like I'm not here to speak on anyone's, like I'm very fortunate with my situation. But if, like Lo was saying, like if that's the standard for y'all, then what are you really doing? And it all stems back from just
you're on Twitter Spaces for free. You're not making
for
a
free.
dime, nigga. You don't have a family to go take care of. You don't care about taking care about yourself. Like
yeah.
all
Shit, I'd
that,
rather sell
we're
drugs.
staying out of trouble is cool and all, but you still have nothing going for yourself.
Like
Nigga,
you better,
Ravion's
you know what I'm saying?
45 years old with no job. My bad. I don't know if he has a job. No job, CTE, and sits on Twitter Spaces all day. Like, come on, bro.
CT is hilarious. Yo, we're all blocked anyway, so it's not gonna affect.
I don't
us
think he blocked me.
anymore.
I don't think he blocked me because I'm not in anything. I don't say anything. I say
Probably
everything I
still
say live. I want you to see my face when I say it. Nigga, you're weird.
And it's the same, it's the craziest thing because like we say, I mean I can speak for me. I've never called him Westbrick ever. Like I personally, like that would just
Oh no, I've definitely done that all the time.
yeah, that's fine.
Yeah,
That's
fuck that.
fine. People want to make fun of whatever, and like he stands on that, and his platform stands on that. But every other space, it's like diminishing and dissing what player because of his color, Stephen Curry. So like, how you gonna speak up on Russ hate and be the vocal person, be like it's corny, the shiesty, whatever. But every night during this playoff run, you shitting on another black man in the same position. Like I don't know. That's just like, it's just wild to me.
I went my whole life hearing the GM, the Frozen, all that shit. Nah, I'm
The
using
brick.
Westbrook.
Bro,
I'm using Westbrook. No cap.
growing up in 2010 on these YouTube comments, like back when it was like the old format, like Co-Brick all the time, Co-Brick Ryan, like bro, like it's just part of sports. This is like what it is. So
It's just what it is. Yeah, people find anything to cry about.
I was a Falcons fan in high school that lived in Louisiana. I don't want to hear you complain
Come on.
about Westbrook.
Come
You
on,
know I
man.
had to deal with Matt Ryan. Oh my!
Yeah.
28-3. 28-3.
28-3 for real.
Before
Before
Patty Ice
28-3.
Earl.
Let's talk about the years before. He was MVP in 28-3 year. What about the year before he did the 28-3? He was shitty. Like I
Yeah.
dealt with that my entire life.
It was
like,
a mad up and down with him too.
yes.
mad up and down. Shit was
Why
crazy.
these niggas had Drew Brees at quarterback? Like,
Mm.
yeah, I had to deal with it every day. It's the part of sports, bro.
Yeah.
He made the Pro Bowl a long time ago, though, huh? He had a good stretch.
Oh my gosh,
The
Matt
Pistons.
Ryan's.
Matt Ryan's not good though.
No, yeah, of course not. Yeah, but like he had a good stretch. Like
Yeah, he has a great career. Like,
Yeah,
if you
he
look
has a
at his
great
career.
career.
He has a great career. He had a good stretch of years. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
fuck the niggas bad. But we're not here for that because I'm
Yeah,
out the
yeah.
pro for like 3 minutes before I get ready to go to work. Yeah, guys, I'm going to work because I don't want to be clean until fucking 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah, that's a W-ass bonnet. I ain't gonna lie. Shit really be popping.
Yeah, I like
Shit
the
be popping.
It is-
Uh,
hey, shout out
as it
Dreamcon,
is,
shout out Dreamcon.
as it is,
So-
shout out Dreamcon for real.
As
Shout out
I go
Rage.
to troll, I want to know your top 3 worst spaces that you've been in and worst hosts.
You airing it out? Damn.
On the spot.
Top 3 worst. I mean, if the space is bad, I just leave it. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, then let's. All right, top 3 people that if you see hosting the space, you're just gonna turn on like I'm not even about to go in there and listen to that shit.
I mean, it's
Joy?
really like the Russ like fans that we mentioned, right? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm blocked, but like, you know, I'm
No.
not gonna step in or whatever it is. Like, I mean, I respect all the creators, like, cause listen, like, no matter what people say, like, the way I look at it is like, yeah, like people hate me on Twitter, but it's really like it's a really finite amount of people. They just happen to be like really loud. You know what I'm
Loud.
saying?
Very loud.
So it's not like
The
I don't
loudest on the
personally
app.
think like it's fun to say like everyone hates show, whatever, but like I don't think a lot of people hate me. Like I can genuinely count on my hands. There's probably like 20, 25, 30 accounts that truly like don't like me and have like hate for me, which is not a lot compared to like the following and whatever you want to do. But those some people tend to be the loudest, and like maybe some people you follow. So that's just how it works out. That's just
They loud as fuck.
you're
They
loud.
loud and wrong too. Shout out Cardiac. They loud
Hey,
and wrong.
shout out Cardiac. Yeah, another one. Top 3 worst NBA YouTubers or Twitter profiles.
Damn, bro.
We ask the hard questions around here.
Oh, I asked the hard hitting questions. I want to know.
There's a lot of them.
I know. I want to hear. I
Yo.
want to know your top 3. I don't even want to know 5. I'm
This
keeping
is-
2 people off
This
there.
is insane, Dick Slick. He said you can count 20 to 30 on your hand.
Oh.
No shugs.
I don't know if that's a real person, but y'all know that Anna Westgoat account.
Oh,
Yes.
yo, she's
Oh, yeah.
terrible. She's
Awful.
I don't even
terrible.
think like she's real, bro. Like the
You
that
be real.
with
You
like
be
18
real.
numbers next to it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, she tried to tell me like not me, but like she tried to legit say Bill Russell's like better than Jordan or something like that. Like, I have some
Do you
crazy
remember-
screenshots on her. There's some crazy. I'll send y'all
Oh
after
my
this. Some crazy.
Some crazy sketch.
And she's
Now, do
always
you remember her
getting
Luca
quoted.
tweets?
So what?
Do you remember her Luca tweets about
I
him
do
being the
remember.
cover
Wait,
athlete?
tell my memory though. What'd she say? I remember those though.
Something about like, how could you have this like Luca for being like white? How could you have a white man on the cover of 2K when you have so many good black athletes? And then proceeds to name like who she brought up like Trey Young. She brought
Yeah.
up Westbrook too. I'm like, bro,
Westbrook,
Luca's
like,
better than
cover.
all of them. I'm like,
Oh
what are you talking
my
about?
God, bro, it's crazy.
Luca
I
is
saw a
the
tweet
greatest of all
today.
time.
I saw a
Probably
tweet
stood
today.
tall on that one.
Nah.
It's crazy, bro. I saw a tweet today that I was like, yeah, the Westbrook hate is getting real racist at this point. And I'm
Oh, I
just
seen that. I seen that. I seen that.
like, I'm not even gonna
Nah.
touch that. I ain't even gonna touch that. But yeah, that account, I think it's a troll account, but she's awful if that's a real person. Accounts, I just block them, bro.
You block accounts? How many accounts do you think you have blocked?
bro. Dude,
A lot? Is that many?
bro. Like, I've been at this for 2 years. It's been like, I'm at like 150 now. I'm like,
Oh shit.
Oh shit.
'Cause, like at that point, because at some point, if people just come at me like on some disrespectful stuff, like we were talking about earlier, like the emotion behind it, right? If I make a point and you disagree with it, it's like I disagree. Like let's just act like you're kind of
Yeah.
But if they disagree, if it's a Russ fan, for example, they'll just be like, "Shut up, like dirty Indian," and I'm just like,
Damn.
"That's
Nah.
cool." Like
No
I mean,
valid points. They have
I'm
no
not,
valid
no
points.
valid
for argument.
points. Like what you're telling me is that you have nothing against my point. So why would I allow this to like sit like on my comment and stuff like that? And the funniest thing is, I get this has happened on multiple occasions. I'm hosting a space like gratefully, it's like going well, good listeners. I will get DMs and be like, "Can you unblock quote like at this?" They want to listen to your space. and
That's insane.
and I'll go to the page. I'm like, yeah, this person called me like I don't know, just like the N word or like just like a dirty Indian, smelly Indian, like a terrorist. Like I've legit been called a terrorist on like every day, like for like a while now. Like I'll literally
They go
post
everywhere with that shit.
I'm about to
Yeah,
say,
legit.
you
They
just
don't
tell them from now
care.
on, make a burner, bitch.
Yeah, legit.
Make a burner. You want to
And
listen
so it's
that
the
bad?
funniest
Make a
thing.
burner.
Yeah, dead ass. And I'm just like, they want to get unblocked. I'm like, okay, I will unblock you because I don't really care. But like, this is why they were blocked in the first place. They're like, okay, yeah, they'll never do it again. I'm just a fucking kind of like daycare host, like putting people like on timeout and shit. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, that's insane. You gotta put grown ass people on timeout. That's what it is. Like
And they
taking
all
people off
17,
the stage.
16 anyways, calling us
Nah,
terrorists.
older,
Like,
bro. Older.
even that, you think so? Yeah.
Nah,
Like
you'll be
21,
surprised how
22.
many
They're
people
probably in their 20s.
how many
Yeah,
people
bro.
hide behind age for real though. Not
Oh,
just
yeah.
color. People lie about their age and say, "Oh, I'm younger than I'm actually is," because they know they're doing weird shit.
I think you're
Weird
right.
shit.
I
Weird
think
shit.
you're right, yeah.
But
Yeah. I just
Chubb,
feel- yeah.
I appreciate having you. I have to go because I actually have to go to work. I'm sorry, guys. Y'all know I'm working. I'm working hard. I just got back from DreamCon and I got Rolling Loud this weekend, so I got to go get some work in right
Hey,
quick.
have fun and Rolling Loud. That's
Oh,
gonna be
nigga.
fun.
Fuck Rolling Loud. They canceled Kanye. Ah!
Oh,
Good having
consolation. You
Chubb.
got Cuddy
Great
though.
conversation. I'm gonna be watching the pod.
That's
while
not a
I'm
good
driving.
consolation. What are you talking about? That is not a good consolation.
There's no way. Okay.
That is not-
I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm happy I'm leaving because there's no way he just said Kid Cudi was a good compilation for fucking Kanye.
Nah,
Kanye?
I thought he had enough songs for an hour, but nah, he's not.
No,
No.
Cuddy's gonna
he
have
doesn't.
he has
day
like
and
30
night.
songs.
Pursuit
He
of
does
happiness,
not
and he's
have
gonna
enough
start
songs
looking
for an
around like
hour.
Homelander. What are
I'm
you
going
talking
home early,
about,
no
bro?
lie.
That's
We're
the
leaving
thing.
early,
Like
Larry.
these girls, like they hype up like, oh, I
Love
want to
y'all.
see Kid Cudi, and they
Nah,
don't
bro.
realize themselves like Cudi got enough songs for like 20 minutes. Like,
And they're
I
not.
have no
Yeah,
Cudi
bro.
songs.
And
I got
nobody
no
really
Cudi
want to hear
songs in my
Cuddy.
library
Nah.
show. So
Nobody really want to sit there and hear Cuddy, especially because they was ready for Kanye. That
yeah,
shit is funny because I was there when Larry. We're just gonna sidetrack it. Larry
Yeah.
and Father both found out around the same time.
Yeah.
They was upset, distraught, all
I'm
that.
so angry.
We got like 4 or 5 people around us that are all going, and they're all gonna be basically together, and
Oh,
it's
word?
them. When they
Damn.
found about Ye, that shit was hilarious, bro. And then they found
Bro,
about Cuddy replacing him.
Cuddy, that made it worse. That was like putting the
Shit.
lemon on a cut. Like,
The craziest thing, I went to Coachella this year, right? So my friend
shit.
is a huge Kanye fan. Like he flew in from Virginia. Like I knew him through like my last job and stuff. So he came to visit me, and my homie who were in California, down here in LA, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm coming to see Kanye, all that stuff." And like when we bought the tickets and got the tickets, we knew, bro, like Kanye's gonna cancel. Like we knew, and we were like, "Yeah, this is not happening no more. Like it's over, whatever." And so when it happened, we saw Weekend, and my other two homies were like, "Oh, that's not a bad quote unquote consolation, so let's run it anyways." And it was like, "It is what it is." So,
Nah,
was
going there for Ye. Anywhere Ye is, you have to have in mind that he might dead ass not show up because it's Ye, bro. It's Ye.
The Kyrie of music.
The Kyrie of music for real. Well, for
Speaking of,
speaking of Kyrie,
great segue.
Kyrie for us, KD and Kyrie requesting trades. Well, KD requesting trades, but the whole debacle with the Nets, we've talked about it on the podcast a little bit.
big word for you.
Ain't it? I don't even know how to spell it. So we talked about it before. It came out recently that they made traction, and then it will be they haven't made traction, and they haven't went anywhere, and then it will be that the Lakers won't give up their picks, and there's just a lot going on with it. I think it's one of the biggest reasons, and there was a free agent, I forget his name, but came out recently and said KD and Kyrie have kind of stalled the market, and for all teams, and I hadn't really thought about this, but teams aren't doing what they would necessarily do just to see like what happens with the KD and Kyrie situation and what happens with Nets. So they're not really signing anybody. Players aren't getting their money. Players aren't maybe getting traded right now, so they'll get traded on later on. It's a lot of going on with them, and I mean it's just today's media, but it's hard to trust anything you really see because you don't know, even if when it coming from Woj or Shams, how much trust can you really put in it? I'll talk to you, Show. I'll go to you, Show, first. I know JTR and Father's feelings about it, but what are your feelings about a Russell Westbrook for Kyrie Irving? Whatever that package really will include, but how do you feel about Kyrie coming here and Russ go over there?
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, you said a lot of good stuff there. I feel like just like anyone else, I would be super excited as a Laker fan first. Like it's Kyrie Irving, right? Like I know we're gonna get into like all the stuff that comes out with it and like why he's not being sought out by anyone else in the NBA. But on the court, the last 3 years, Mans is 27, 6, and 6 on 50, 40, 90. Like if it was anyone else, like that's MVP conversation top three and not 3 or 2, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like Steph won an MVP off 23 points per game in 2015. People forget that. So like those kinds of numbers, like in a vacuum, like are crazy in itself. So the encore production, anyone would be excited for. There's no questions about fit this time because it's LeBron James. And that's a point guard that can shoot at the end of the day. Forget the numbers I just said. He can shoot at the end of the day, and that's what you need at your point of attack. So like anyone else, I would be excited. And if you've been keeping up with like the Lakers free agent signings, like the minimum guys, things like that, they're not necessarily the best shooters. So if you look at it from our front office's point of view, like those signings were kind of made, barring this kind of massive trade would come into play, because otherwise, how do those pieces kind of fit around? Those pieces don't necessarily fit right now, unless you do like kind of fantasy and like substitute Russ for Kyrie in that sense. So that initially, like you were saying, like gave me confidence, like, oh shit, like there's actual traction going on here. But like I've been following the league for like 15 years, like now, like being a Laker fan, I have never seen like a pursuit like this before, where it's like every single day. Now that we have NBA Today, there's an hour block for an NBA show where they're every single day they're bringing up the same reporter, which is Woj or Dave McMenamin, who covers the Lakers for an update. And if you notice, like it's almost a meme at this point because they come up and regurgitate the same things, which is like, KD Domino got to follow first. Like KD's got to be traded first in order for this to happen, yada, yada, yada.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like the same thing over and over again to the point where everyone's just reaching. And you made a really good point where now even the most trusted reporters, you got to question, why are they saying this stuff? And why are they saying this stuff now? Who does it benefit at the end of the day? One thing that a huge example that I could give is like that Chris Haynes report. If you guys saw it yesterday, it was like, I'm reporting at Summer League, LeBron, AD, and Russ had a phone conversation.
Oh yeah.
Vowing to make it work, if need be. Everyone went crazy. My mentions, my messages, fuck you, Shub, like you lying.
Why they say fuck you? What they say fuck me for?
Because they know I want Kyrie like every other Laker fan. They're like, I told you so, he's not coming, all this stuff. And Guru and I were just laughing on Spaces. I was like, bro, I didn't know the season started tomorrow. Like we still in July. Yeah. And so now the way I've approached this, and I'm actually learning a lot like about business and like how negotiations work and what the actual definition of leverage means, understanding why these reporters say these things, who they owe favors to, what comes out of a report like this, and what the front offices are seeing. Because what we forget is like us as fans, we take in these reports and come up with whatever conclusion, whatever. But what do the front office execs think of these same reports we're watching? And what impact does it have on then their conversation? So if LeBron, AD, and Russ are having a quote unquote phone conversation, from the Nets perspective, what the Lakers are hoping that gives off is like, oh shoot, like they're really committed to running it back. Like they're dead ass. Like this might be off the table. And from the Nets perspective, what gives us hope is like, you're not going to get anything else from Kyrie. You swept the NBA twice. You already swept the NBA twice asking for offers. No one bid, bro. No one bid. So we're your only chance. And so even though it's not the most attractive offer by any means, it's your quote unquote only offer. And so what gives me hope is like not necessarily a Kyrie and Russ swap, but maybe like a 3-team trade where, Brooklyn.
That's most likely what it would be.
Stuff like that. Yeah.
It would most likely be a three team or because I don't think the Nets want to pick up Russ. I am very excited as well. What do you feel? There was a recent report as well. Russ had fired his agent of 14 years. What do you think that means for Russ? Because to be honest, I don't have any really feelings about it because it really could mean anything. Yeah. They could have had a falling out. They might have not been close. Whatever. It's business. It just something happens. A lot of people were saying like it means that he's definitely leaving or he's definitely staying and doesn't like how his career has been going on. What are your thoughts about Russ firing his agent?
Yeah, no, that was that was super. I shouldn't be
Random.
laughing, but it was entertaining for sure. Like I remember making a space after that, and we were just laughing because like this is crazy because if Russ's agent like threw that big of a fit about the situation at hand, like that just goes to show you what's going on. The what wasn't shocking was what you said, like him departing and stuff like that's cool. Like I agree with you. It's just business. That agent made a statement in that ESPN article by Woj.
Oh,
There was
really?
a on statement. Yeah. So he talks about him departing from Russ. So apparently Russ fired his agent and he literally talks about what led to their quote unquote divorce. And he goes on to say is like, you know, what I feel is best for Russ, I'm paraphrasing here, best for Russ is, you know, staying with the Lakers and making it work with the team. Any sort of trade for Russell Westbrook is going to involve, you know, devaluing him by adding additional draft assets to trade him, thus
Facts.
diminishing his value, right? Which we all agree as fans is like you're going to have to add draft assets to Russ's contract because,
Yeah.
for lack of a better word, Russ is not bringing any basketball value to the next team in a sense. So you need to incentivize us with first round picks to take on that contract who is not living up to his contract, right?
Yeah.
So that's cool for us as fans. We already understood that from like May, June, whatever. We understood this would be the case in the offseason. For the actual agent to come out and say that, what is on everyone else's mind, it actually ruins negotiations now amongst teams because if Russ's agent, the closest person to him, is saying that, that's automatically the asking price now. What Rob has been doing this whole time is trying to avoid lowballing it because it's a long negotiation. You can't give all your cards out. At the very last minute, every Laker fan is pushing, just give the pick, just give the picks, because that's the only holdup in this trade. But for Russ's agent to now publicly go out and say that, that's going to be the demand of the asking price, knowing that that's out there. Because if I'm another front office exec, I'm like, bro, even Russ's agent knows that you're going to have to attach picks. So we need the picks. We're not doing this any lower. So it kind of messes up Rob's negotiation there. So it kind of messes up our leverage in turn by doing that. So him publicly saying that, it's like when someone quits McDonald's, right? Like they just, what do? Like if they get super pissed off, they just like jump off the register, do some crazy ass shit, right? Because they quit, like, nothing to lose. That was kind of Thad. His name is Thad. His way of like lashing out and quitting in a sense by releasing that statement because whatever they came to. So that was the thing that I came away from there. And also in that same report, the reason they butted heads is because Thad's advice was stay on the Lakers, let's make it work. What was Russell thinking? Because they had to fight about something if he was going to get fired. So that in turn means Russell Westbrook did not want to run it back with the Lakers, which means he himself does not want to be on the team. He sent his agent out to go look after a buyout who would be interested in his services and came up with nothing. So if Russ himself doesn't want to be here, that tells us a lot because Laker fans have been clamoring for a trade for months now, and it not really helps us because it's all negotiations out of his control. But even Russ himself doesn't want to be here. So what does that say? So that's
it could also he brought up a good point. I think he's trolling, but he brought up a good point. The agent, because Russ was on his final year. Well, he's about to get into his final year. He could have taken a pay cut. I'm sure. I think he did have a player option,
Right.
so he could have done something similar to James Harden, taking a pay cut, and it might have led to what you're saying, a falling out between them. None of it sounds good for us. I'm just kind of sitting back, letting it, you feel me, let it ride. I do want to get into a little bit more. Let's say we do run it back. JTR, how do you feel about Russ, KD, Russ, AD, and LeBron potentially running it back this next season?
I think with that core, they can do like they're not gonna miss the playoffs again. It just really revolves around. It revolves around who they surround them with, and if they could stay healthy, if Anthony Davis could stay healthy, LeBron could stay healthy. If you revolve them or surround them with like shooters, people of that nature, then I think y'all could be like a solid like sixth, seventh, like that type of thing. And then when you have LeBron in the playoffs, you never know what can happen from there. So I wouldn't say to have no hope for the Lakers, but it just you guys gotta sign the right people. And right now, it's not looking like you're signing the right people.
Yeah, we signed like guys like Lonnie Walker, Damian Jones. We lost Malik Monk. I'm forgetting we signed 2 other guys too. But we signed guys that, as Shub said, don't really work with us so far. And we've lost a guy that had a really good season for only $9 million a year, which pisses me off because Malik Monk picked up 2 years, $19 million. So he's only getting 9. We could have done something, and I thought we could have done something. And it all revolves back to Russ. If we had that money off our books, we might have been able to keep Malik. He might have not went to Sacramento. But Father, inversely, I'm gonna ask you. Let's say Kyrie does get swapped for Russ, and whatever the assets are, but the core is Kyrie, AD, and LeBron. What's their ceiling?
Well, championship. If you have Kyrie on that team, you have to be shooting for a championship with that team, and they have a shot.
How what's the percentage like? Let's say from the West. Let's just say going to the finals. Not winning it. Let's just say going to the finals.
All right. Are we assuming like no other moves happens? Like there's no KD trade.
Yeah, assume that. KD's still in the Nets.
No, KD, he goes to the East because he's probably gonna go to the East somewhere anyway.
He goes to Miami,
Toronto. Yeah, Miami. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Oh man, I'm biased.
That's tough.
Yeah,
we're not even in the East. Why are you biased?
Yeah.
No, because I'm a Heat fan, so I'm biased. So, yeah. And man, I don't know. It's a good shot. I think for sure they could come out of the West if they have that core of LeBron, AD, and Kyrie. For sure coming out of the West.
Are you worried at all about Kyrie and who Kyrie is?
There's always that
worried?
like how much worry. I feel like I don't know. I feel like next season is gonna be different for Kyrie. I feel like he's gonna play he might like have his like little outbursts and stuff like that. But like I feel like on the court, if he's on a different team, you'll get the production that you expect from him.
I like this guy.
Shep, I'm gonna ask you the same thing, just a little bit different. Is Kyrie playing 50% of the games? Kyrie having a little controversy here and there better than Russell Westbrook throwing the ball into the fifth stand for a crucial pass? Is that better?
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. You don't want to see no shots over the side of the backboard. Cool.
Yeah, and we got away from it, so I won't touch on it too much. But the whole my problem I was like harping on in spaces with Russ wasn't even the turnovers. Like I know they look bad, or even the backboard shots, like the layups. Like
just the small shit.
Like
the worst was Christmas Day Brooklyn Nets game. Patty Mills has 7 threes or 6 threes at this point. Yeah. And it's the last 2 minutes. LeBron and Malik and Stanley Johnson have done everything to bring us back. And Russ, I think 2 times in a row left Patty, and he also he might have given up a fall. It was James, right?
James,
somebody
else.
Patty
in the corner. I remember Patty in the
corner, bro. I hate that play, bro, because there's so many times I rewatched it, completely lost it. And it wasn't even Patty set a screen. Nobody set a screen for Patty.
Just drifted
away, and it's wide open corner 3, end of the game for us. That was really the tipping. I mean, the tipping point was like Oklahoma City in the beginning of the season when he threw it into the fifth row. But
on the Kyrie, that was bad. But on the Kyrie front, I mean, I think y'all are right about just like the ceiling there. And in terms of like the breaks and whatever, listen, like if Kyrie's
take all the breaks you want.
If Kyrie's averaging those numbers are like close to, because he won as a third option, like as close to those numbers I described, like his averages, bro, if he takes a week off for like meditational purposes, like I'm not even joking at this point, or he wants to go to North Dakota again, absolutely, like totally okay. Like I'd be
North Dakota.
If he wants to take
as he's in the playoffs.
As long as it's not April or May, facts. So he could take off whenever. I would not mind. As long
you
as
think he'd be the third option? I think LeBron.
I think LeBron would take a step back.
I think LeBron would take it. I think LeBron would playmaking role.
LeBron can be a third option. He doesn't care. So
LeBron would definitely pick up a playmaking role.
He's too good not to average like MVP numbers as a third option. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So still better than Russ. I don't care. Even if genuinely, this sounds like cap, but a lot of people have said it. Kyrie averaging 15, 5, and 5 on good efficiency, on let's say 38% from three, 45, 48% from the field, hitting his free throws. I would take that before Russ. I promise.
Bro, the talk today because Dennis Schroeder was like begging for a
You
job
seen that
in LeBron's comments. And
Yeah.
obviously, like a tweet that went viral was like 2021 Dennis Schroeder was better than 22 Russ. And I don't think that's arguable. Like, you know what I'm saying? But all the fans are like, you gonna take 19, 7, and 7 under, 15, 5, and 5, like on the same percentage? And I'm like, yeah, dude, because I watched every fucking game. So like, I know what it comes
At least
with,
when
so.
Dennis Schroeder comes down the court, he might stop the offense, do a very slow pick and roll, and slow us down. At least he's not throwing it into the seventh throw. At least he's not hitting the top of the backboard, bro. I don't. You feel me? Fuck us. Yeah, we win the championship next year if we do get Kyrie. Let's be honest. Guys. Let's be honest. I'm gonna get into some quick hitters. Well, actually, let's get into KD before we do get into those quick hitters. There has been no traction with KD, unless I've missed stuff. A lot of it is the Nets not really knowing KD's value, and the league valuing KD a lot lower than what people expected. So you're not gonna, and then especially with Rudy Gobert trade just inflating the market extremely, you're not gonna get what you really expected if you're the Nets for KD. And inversely, if you're the other team, why would I give that up? Because it won't make me a championship team. KD alone is not gonna make me a excuse me. KD alone is not gonna make me a championship team. Where do you see KD playing basketball next year, Shub?
Yeah. No, I think
say
you
all
lined
that
it
too.
up pretty well. If I had to guess, I'm like torn between Brooklyn and Toronto. Cause sorry, bro. Miami,
He just broke his heart.
nice. Miami would be nice. Because actually the Heat are my second favorite team. But Toronto or Brooklyn is where I see it. And I hate to say Brooklyn, but like just like y'all, like I'm increasingly by the day getting a little worried. Because if this KD thing doesn't happen, like people were saying, this Kyrie thing might be out of the question. But so I'm holding hope for Toronto because they got like the best talent that they can provide. But you're right on the point that it's like, where's the balance between giving up enough assets to satisfy the Nets, and then if you're the other team trading for KD, do I have enough assets left over to go win a championship with Kevin Durant?
Yeah.
And it's like we haven't seen this in a while because I'm running through the top 10, top 12 list. Like KD is the best player ever to be traded at his prime, like
with 4 years on his contract.
With 4 years on his contract and still a lot left in the tank, right? Yeah, Shaq was a free agent. Yeah. So KD's the best player ever to be traded like that in the middle of his career. So like this is unprecedented like territory that we're falling through.
Yeah.
It's like what do you do if you're them? And you brought up a good point about the Rudy Gobert setting the market. I was talking about this on Spaces the other day. It's like, at what point, if you're the Nets, you gonna cross your arms and be like, well, Rudy Gobert got this, so we're not doing it. Like at some, like you're gonna have the same problem, like about KD wanting to leave if you don't get the assets or not. So instead of keeping that asking price so high, come to realize, like, bro, like that trade was that trade. Like you gotta scurry the market this way.
Yeah.
It's gonna be different. No one's gonna hold. Oh, that's crazy. Rudy Gobert went for more than Kevin Durant. Like that doesn't. Everyone knows why that is. There's context behind everything, and like I think the Nets need to stop being stubborn and be like, because you're not going to get a haul like that picks wise.
I think they feel very stupid from how they've dealt with these three.
Yeah.
When I say three, I'm including James Harden.
Of course.
They feel very dumb, and they should. They have a lot to do with it. They also put their trust in two guys that are very up and down, to say the least. And I think a lot of the blame does go on Kevin Durant. Not as much as people would say on Kyrie Irving, but a lot of the blame, in my opinion, should go on Kevin Durant. A lot of the blame should go on the Nets organization. So now they're trying to do some type of damage control, and it's ending up buying them in the back because
Big time.
With the James Harden trade, you kind of set up another precedent. You gave up what was it, 8 picks, 3 assets. You then truly didn't do anything with Jared Allen, didn't do anything with Karis LeVert. And if you look back at it, you could have had a better team than what you have right now with Karis, Kyrie. They would still have Spence. They would still have Jared Allen. They would still have all the young guys like Nicholas Claxton. We're assuming they still draft Cam Thomas. So you've done all this and still look in a worse position now. So now it's more of a damage control type of thing. I don't think KD's good enough to get assets like that, and I think that's what the issue is coming down to. Yeah, time for some cook hitters. Because NBA, yo, let's be honest, and we brought this up, it would be KD and Kyrie, but it's stopping the market. But the NBA offseason, does anyone else feel like it's been very like slow this year? We had that quick burst with all the free agents and the little quick trades with Rudy Gobert. Yeah. But besides that, it's been very, very slow. It's just been the same reports every time.
Same reports. I think it's slow also because like everyone knows like what we should be reading in regards to like the top 3 players on the market right now, and it's not happening. So like all these days just feel like endless, like countless. Like Shams reported 4 things today about people that no one cares about. Like, bro, we want Mitchell news, like KD news or Kyrie news. Like, ain't nobody care about.
I saw you,
Torian Prince.
I saw you so recently. It was this guy named Fades, I think, right?
Yes.
It's this guy named Fades, and you kept tweeting. So it was July 17, July 16. It was a couple days ago. You kept tweeting, yo, something's going to happen today. Something's going to happen today. And I kept looking back like, yo, is he reading something that I don't know about? Does he have like sources that I don't know? Like, is he like connected? And then I saw you quote tweet after the day had ended, and it was this guy, Fades, whoever he is. I never heard of him until this moment. Tweeting the fact that something was gonna happen 2 days ago. Guaranteed, set your books, set your tweets, everything was gonna happen July 17th. Can you talk a little bit about that? What happened with that situation?
Yeah, so this is just another like Twitter space like saga in my journey. So there's a full story. So basically, I was obviously on Twitter like one night just scoping through, and my homies were just like, "Yo, like this guy's hosting a Laker space." And I'm like, "Oh, cool! Like, you know, that's new. Like, do we know him?" He's like, "No, it's this guy named Fade, and it's titled like Laker News, like Lakers Rumors." I'm like, "Oh, interesting." So he's a verified account. His name's Fade, Fadde, verified account. 43,000 followers. I'm like, okay, cool. He has like Top Dog Entertainment, which is like Schoolboy Q's, like all those people's label and things like that, in his bio, like he works there, whatever. Apparently a politician, so he like ran for something, like a right-wing politician or something, like all this type of stuff. That's and crazy. I'm going through his timeline. I'm like, who is this guy hosting a Lakers space? He's like, cool. Like, I just want to know the background. And he has like 300 tweets, which I thought was very suspicious. And the last like 6-7 of his tweets were just like Lakers stuff, and it was just like news and like putting reports before. It's like, oh, I'm hearing this, I'm hearing this, I'm hearing this. And I'm like, okay, cool. Like everyone knows like this is what's like hot right now, which is like information on KD and Kyrie. And like me, you guys like being content creators and just like, you know, appealing to this audience, like for me, like I just hate, because I take pride in this fan base and like my team, I just hate people that try to push the wrong things just to get some clout out of it, you know, especially when it comes to the Lakers, because the reason I care so much is the Laker fans have this persona of delusional people. Like, we're delusional. We think we can get everybody, you know, y'all are crazy, stuff like that. And it stems from people like this who create satire and fake news to get Laker fans excited and give them the wrong information that they go pass along and be like, oh no, yeah, I heard from this quote unquote verified account, we're actually getting this because this so-and-so met at Vegas, which is not true at all. So Fade guy running a space, 300 people, Laker news, and people are up there as speakers and they're just like asking him questions like he knows everything. And I'm just like, okay.
Questions along the line of what?
And I'm cool. Like, people are tapped in. These are adults. Like, people know people. I get DMs from people that know agents, and like I'm trusting these sources who know the real. So I'm like, okay, let me peep this out. And he's talking, and I'm just like, okay, what's going on? So quick hitters, like I'll tell you what he said and what I got from it. So he said the Milwaukee Bucks called about Rudy Gobert trade interests, and which made no sense because they've already won a championship without a center. They wouldn't need that, and the only cap-friendly contracts would be their big three. They would have to shell out for Rudy Gobert, which would make no sense in the world. But he said the Milwaukee Bucks called.
Would they have to trade like Chris Middleton?
Yeah,
or Drew Holiday?
Giannis, Chris, or Drew, exactly, right, to match.
Because they're not trading Giannis.
And I'm like, that can't happen. So that's a little off to me. So I'm suspicious there. He said that after the summer league game that LeBron attended, right, where he was sitting across from us the whole news or whatever, he and Kyrie worked out in the Lakers facility after that. And he said that LeBron and Kyrie worked out last Friday at the Lakers facility late at night. And I was like, that's a little suspicious because that's the same night LeBron was in Vegas till 10:30.
That's crazy.
So, all right, that's a little sus too.
That's a little sus.
And then he said, well, I've heard the Lakers offer their 2026 first round pick to Brooklyn, and things like that. I'm like, okay, that's cool. Like, oh, but wait, that's technically not tradable unless we get permission from the Pelicans. So I'm like, why would the Pelicans want to help us now? It doesn't make any sense. So that's the third thing I'm sus about. And then one thing I heard after the fact, he said the Lakers called about Christian Wood. Christian Wood was the first trade of the offseason 2 months ago.
During the finals.
So
I'm just up there chatting.
My friends are going off on him because they're listening to the same things we are. Like, we're like straight like roasting this man. And I'm just like, you know what? Like, nah, like this is goofy. Like, this person's gonna run with it, and like I know what's gonna come after this, and like we're gonna get made fun of by more people saying this wasn't true. So I requested to speak in 400 people, like no problem. He accepted my request, and I'll send you the audio after. I cooked him, like everyone was in my mention, like, cooked him, whatever. Because
I seen a little bit of the clips. Yeah, I see.
Yeah, I got you. So I was like, oh, so you said this, like, is this correct? And he's like, yes, I said that. I was like, cool, because like LeBron was in Vegas that same night. So you're saying they flew to LA and worked out at 4 a.m. at the Laker facility? And he was like shaking. He was like, yes, that's correct, which doesn't make any sense because he can't back out now. He has to stand on it. And so you said the Lakers are trading their 26 first round pick. He's like, that's correct. He's like, okay, great, because they would need permission from the Pelicans, which they already got, right? And he's like, yeah, they already asked about the Pelicans. He had not mentioned previously. And the whole space was just going crazy with laugh emojis. And one of my good friends, shout out my boy Rome, he clipped that whole thing, posted it. It went kind of viral, and everyone called him a fraud after that. And so he had a viral tweet. It was said, this Kyrie news is like, and KD is like wrapping up. Expect news by July 17th. And so everyone had obviously saved that tweet. And they're quoting it. And you can see as the days go on, everyone's quoting it. And they put like GIFs on like the time, people pointing at the clock, like your time's up, we're about to cook you, pack, watch, all this stuff. And everyone like bought into it. And I'm just minding my business. I don't care at this point. Like, I don't care about someone making fake news. Yeah. But July 16th, everyone's DMing me. Everyone's like quoting me or like tagging me as like, Shub, like, you got to roast this guy when the 17th hits. And I'm like, what do you want me to say? Like, we're going to celebrate like someone's
your failures.
Yeah, failures. Like, but if everyone's asking for it, we can't not. So nice. I scheduled a space called Fade's Funeral at 11:50 on July 16th. And I posted up the scheduled space. 200 people reserved for it. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Like, how do people care this much? Like, I just put other people fake. So I just kind of made it up. I just kind of entertained, like, and that ended up being an hour and a half space. Like, we all knew he was going to be wrong. He was wrong. Everyone came up. It was funny. I was just like, so every speaker that came out was like, hey, bro, welcome to the funeral. Pay your respects. Like, what are you wearing at the funeral today? All this type of joke stuff, like, just to carry it on. Just some fun.
Did you try to get him in there? To see,
I told everyone to tag him and come in. He did not.
He didn't want to get in. He had no part of it.
So it's fun on Do Not
that was the
that
tweet,
night.
And we made a space out of it and marketed it and whatever. And like, we just used that as a lesson. Like, yo, like if you have any Laker news you come across, like send it to like a trusted account on like Twitter or Instagram, like that you trust and you follow, and I'm sure they'll verify for you because like we like to be tapped in. So
Yeah,
it's a dead
Lakers just being one of the biggest organizations, they're just always going to have news around them,
just
and
period.
it's either going to be. This is back to the media thing.
Yeah.
A player's agent release something in benefit of the player or in like to diminish somebody else on the team. An executive can release something for the same thing to diminish a player or bring up a player. And then another team can just randomly bring something onto the Lakers that the Lakers probably had no clue about. They just heard a little rumor and ran with it. And it happens with everyone. It happens in every sport. But the bigger teams are always the ones that get it the biggest, get it the worst. And the Lakers is one of the prime examples of that. So being a Lakers fan, it is very interesting. Being a LeBron fan as a Lakers fan is even more interesting. So
and you're spitting there too, because think about this, like just a recent example, like did any Laker fans say, you know what, we're going to start this rumor that we want Zach LaVine and we're going to push it? Like, no. Like Zach LaVine this offseason to get his max contract with the Bulls threatened to come to the Lakers. Like he was like throwing shade at teams. He was like, yo, Los Angeles is nice and stuff like that. And then all the hate is just like, wow, Laker fans think they can just get anyone. Like Zach LaVine, are you crazy? Like, bro, like, I'm sorry. Like, no Laker fan went up to Zach LaVine, tipped him off to say, use the Lakers as leverage. Like, we're the biggest organization in the league, point blank period. So, like, it's not our fault that stars want to use our name to then boost their thing up and get the contracts that they want. Like, it's like, we don't tie ourselves to these players. Like, they tie ourselves to us. And, it's not, I don't think that's delusional, so.
And then it was the mix because the Lakers will always have a star. So it will be Kobe Bryant. You're attaching your name to Kobe Bryant. Forget Lakers, you're attaching your name to Kobe Bryant. Then LeBron coming. Forget the Lakers, you're attaching your name to LeBron. So, of course, there's some value in doing that. Regardless true or not, regardless if it's good for the brand or whatever, they're going to do that just because it's the way to go. I'm just reading something. Everyone pretty much knows KD is the one. Yeah, this is dragging KD again. I love this KD hate. I ain't gonna lie. This is one player out of everybody in the league that I am perfectly fine with getting dragged. KD, bro. Fuck KD, bro. Fuck KD.
That would be Harden for me. The way you feel about KD is Harden for me.
For real?
Yeah.
Father, who's the player that you would just let drag? Or who would you drag like consistently?
Jason Tatum. Fuck Jason Tatum.
Wow.
Can't stand him.
It makes sense.
Yo, JTR, who are the Knicks really against? Like, do you guys have anybody that you really have a problem with?
Themselves.
Our
Julius
owner,
Randle.
Our owner, Julius Randle. Like
Julius Randle's your owner?
No, just both of them. We hate both.
I'm gonna tell you right now, like this is how like the thought of Russ next year is like poisoned me. Like me and my friends are literally talking ourselves why Randle would be a better fit than
No,
Russ.
he would.
No,
He would. He
y'all would know he would.
No,
y'all
no,
would
no,
And the Knicks
bro,
fans, I'm cool with Knicks fans. They're like, you don't understand. Like Randle's horrible.
No, bro,
his spacing on the Lakers will be horrible.
I'm looking at this box score numbers. Like they ain't that bad. Like I don't know.
It's not even that, bro. The thing is with Russ, he'll do something every time. Sage said this one time, right? He was on a stream. He said this.
Yeah.
When he comes down the court, you don't know what he's gonna do. Like you don't know what's going through his head. He might come up, shoot a three, maybe because he's feeling good. He might come up, try to dribble past someone, pick up a charge. Might dribble past somebody, dribble past them, do a good move, but throw it out. Like you don't know what he's doing. At least with Julius Randle, I know what he's gonna do.
He's going left. You know he's going left.
I'll take that. I'll take that.
The defenders know that too.
I'll take that.
I do like. I don't know what time we get out here, but I do want to say a couple of nice things about Russ because like this is gonna.
Yeah. Let's have a little.
I truly feel this way. Like I truly feel this way. I do believe. I understand why Russ has so many fans because in his brand, it doesn't shock me how many fans he has because like it's a very marketable and like he gravitates a lot of people towards his like the way he plays and his demeanor. Like I understand what that is and he has a good space for that. Those types.
I agree with that.
If you're generally a Russ fan, I understand why you are a fan of him as a whole career and things like that. I think even throughout the season, I do think at the end of the day he makes other players better. You can see his track record. Who he's gotten paid and things like that with Paul George, KD won an MVP under him, all that stuff. The past, great. Bradley Beal. and his past teammates have nothing but good things to say about him. And he earned that contract. I've never once in a space or my tweets blamed Russ like, oh, he's playing horrible. Like, is this 47 million? Like, you know what it is? Like, because he can't control getting that 47 back when he won the MVP, when he deserves Supermax. So I just want to say that, but everything else, you know, is like on the board.
No, that is true. That is true. You said a lot to the person of it. I agree with a lot of it. Russ, I don't have no problem again with get your money, bro. Go get like Dame getting his money. Go get your money, bro. That's a lot of money. That's a lot.
And on the pay cut thing, I my personal opinion, I thought Jeannie Buss had a tweet out last couple weeks ago where she was talking about Kobe and she went into like sacrifice and like teamwork and stuff. I do believe that potentially could have been a shade at Russ because James Harden had just taken a pay cut.
Yeah,
I'm not expecting Russ to take a pay cut, but
or it might be LeBron too because LeBron is due for a contract as well. Yeah.
But the factual information is if Russ does take a pay cut, it does help our team out financially. That is the fact of the matter. Like point blank period.
Yeah.
Should he be expected to take one? Absolutely not. And no one's going to drag him for not, you know, as we see now. So
yeah. I wouldn't it happened in soccer with Real Madrid. I would never get mad at Mbappe. Just to bring this up, I would never get mad at Mbappe for taking that 600 million or whatever the fuck else they offered him.
Right.
Because bro, that's a lot of money, bro. Like, if you give me that, I'm not denying that I'll probably do the same thing.
Yeah. If the Lakers hit me up today, knowing the basketball player I am, and say they're gonna give me 44 million, fuck Lakers fan, I'm taking that shit.
Yeah, I don't care what you see on the court, I'm taking that shit.
Real shit. Anybody would.
These jump shots off.
We're gonna get into quick hitters for real this time. LeBron and DeRozan played in the Drew League. JTR, how do you feel about LeBron in the Drew League? What's your thoughts? Because you put this in for a reason. What's up?
Yeah, I don't get it. Why do people care? He played against like 9 to 5 sales associates. Like, why are people caring?
You're dragging it.
I saw the people on there. That was a whole bunch of uncles.
They were saying they was taking their Best Buy uniforms off to like come into the
It was a whole bunch of uncles from the barbecue. Like, I don't get it. And then he got cooked a couple times. I saw clips of him getting cooked.
It was once.
And I already know. I'm watching the next episode of Undisputed because Skip Bayless is definitely mentioning his missed free throw, how they almost lost.
He already did. He has a tweet about it, right?
He already has a tweet about it. Yeah, he was like, he missed a free throw, everything like
2
that.
2 for 13 from 3, like.
Yeah, like, forget about the 42. Did you guys see the guy that was guarding him?
The look on his eyes?
No, did you see his responses?
Oh, no, those were tweets from a long time ago.
Like, those are old tweets.
No, they brought up his old tweets, but Bleacher Report or somebody, one of the news outlets posted LeBron and posted that exact thing Father just brought up. His face when LeBron does that fadeaway. And his response, and he's been saying it for the past like 3 days. It's happened like 3 days ago, 2 days ago. He's been saying it ever since. He goes, some of y'all couldn't even imagine being in this type of situation. I worked to get up here. I dropped 20 something. Because he did have a good game. I think he had like 26. He had 20, 26, whatever. He's like, yeah, I dropped 20. Some of y'all could never. I mean, I would do the same thing. I would drag it if I played good against LeBron.
I'm telling my grandkids.
I'm telling them I'm telling them this was
I don't
the
know how many
NBA
followers he has after Saturday's game. Like, come on now. Like, you know,
his shit probably went crazy. And I'm definitely telling my kids that it was the NBA Finals. I'm not telling them it was the Drew League. No, cat. They don't know nothing.
Another thing though, if I'm in that Drew League, I'm pissed. Like, come on, you're throwing self alley oops. My girl's in the crowd. Relax. Like, come on, LeBron.
To stay on LeBron, there was a quote from his show. It was about Brittany Griner, and she pleaded guilty to the 10 years. And that situation, I don't know too much about the situation, so I'm not gonna bring it up. She did get arrested in Russia. They're not letting her go. People are trying to find ways to get her back, stuff like that. Her coach said that if it would be LeBron, he would be freed by now. And then that was brought up on the shop. And when it was brought up on the shop, LeBron said something along the lines of, if I'm Britney, I'm looking at America like, do I want to go back? So he's basically saying it like, I don't trust America now. But the clip that went viral was, the headliner that went viral was, LeBron said, if it was me, I wouldn't No, it was
I would think twice about coming back to the States.
yeah, but they worded it different to make it
Yeah,
seem like he was throwing a shot
remember.
at Britney. Father, I'm gonna just give you a quick second here. What do you feel about LeBron? Would he be free by now?
I mean, like realistically, LeBron probably wouldn't have been in that situation.
Facts.
But I'm sure you've seen the memes. If LeBron was arrested in Russia, I'd save him myself. I'm getting him. I'm sure like we could get like a band of like thousands people, bro, and we just get him ourselves.
The funniest one was the Age of Ultron. You know, the beginning when they're all in the same scene, and they was like, "This is us. We go try to save LeBron."
Yeah.
Facts, bro. Brittany, you are not him. You are not him. Yo, JTR, you got some would you rather's here. Do you want to take over for this? What do you said?
Nah,
Would you rather NBA edition?
I don't have it in front of me, so you got to do it for me real quick.
You didn't even give me any.
You didn't
Though.
give it
I
up
didn't
any
give it to
names,
you.
bro.
You didn't give me no would you
All
rather's,
right,
bro.
I'll do off the dome. I'll do off the
Yeah,
dome.
off the
What I
dome,
remember.
go ahead.
Hey, Pastor JT's had the shades on the whole fucking pod.
It's really hot in this garage. Like, this is the only thing that keeps me like.
Yo,
How does that make sense?
Can't see the sweat on his eyes.
It's chemistry. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
It's dimmer. You know what I'm saying?
The biology of the situation.
You wouldn't know your IQ scores. But the first one I remember coming up with, I had this idea because I saw it on Twitter, and I was like, you know what, let's do it on the pod. Prime Cousins or Embiid right now.
Who y'all taking?
Like for one
Embiid.
season, like to run it. Like
Embiid.
One season?
yeah.
Embiid last year. No. Actually, DeMarcus, what was it, like 2016, 17? I don't know. But maybe it's Pelicans. I would take his Pelicans maybe before his Sacramento.
What?
No, his
What?
Pelicans was crazy, bro. Him and Anthony Davis were a little bit.
stats, but like the conclusion was like he does play well with AD. Like that was
He
what
played
they-
very well with AD,
Played very
way
well.
better than a lot of people expected. I'd probably take.
Do both these guys get 82 games or 75?
Yeah, like no injuries, no nothing.
No
It's just straight
injuries,
up
do
who
not
they
get
are.
healthy.
Oh, then I'm taking Embiid.
Yeah.
I'm taking Embiid. He's
Joe?
thinking about it. So what would you do?
I'm taking Embiid. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
more clutch. He's more clutch than Prime Cousins. He's clutch.
I'm taking Cousins.
That's
I think
fair.
he could take over better than Embiid in the game. Embiid does have defense over him,
Yeah.
but I like offense.
But then I'm worried Cousins is getting ejected. You know what I'm saying? So
Facts,
That's
facts.
true.
We're bringing that into it. I'm worried.
especially if
Embiid
it's a
playing
close game.
60
You know what I'm
games.
saying? Like
Yeah, facts.
so.
All right, the next one's the common one: Donovan Mitchell or Devin Booker.
Donovan Mitchell. I don't even have to think about this for real.
Mitch.
I think there's such a big gap. That conversation is always so
Really?
funny to me. It's to me it's like Steph Curry and Damian Lillard.
I think it's Devin Booker.
You don't know basketball though. I'm not really worried
I
about
mean,
what you
as a
say.
Knicks fan right now, right? We're rumored to get.
You would
me and
rather have
Father,
Devin
all right,
Booker
me
than
and Father,
Donovan
Father,
Mitchell?
right? We are both rumored to get Donovan Mitchell. If we were rumored to get Devin Booker, would you be a little more excited for your team?
Not really, no.
Am I just crazy? Devin Booker? Really?
Devin Booker's game might look prettier.
Yeah.
He might
I
look
prefer-
a little more aesthetically pleasing.
And he's a better shooter too. Book's a better shooter, but I like the versatile scoring. And what I saw back-to-back postseasons from Mitch against the
Oh
Thunder,
my god.
like it was his second year and he was taking on prime Paul George and post MVP Russ. You know what I'm saying? Credit like
Mhm.
the Thunder did choke, they had no one else. But what I saw from that guy and that guy alone with like a Bogdanovich, like Gobert wasn't coming to his own yet. Conley wasn't helping nobody. I don't even think he was there. Like
No,
he
it was
took
like
that
Ricky
series-
Rubio and them
he
Bills.
took that series over.
Yeah.
In in every clutch situation. I've never seen anything like it. So that was crazy for me. And then Book really took off when CP came to orchestrate the offense. So that's just kind of how I look at it. But you can't go wrong with either.
I might just be a D-Book fanatic. I don't know.
He's good. He's straight good.
Yeah,
Best first quarter score in the game.
for sure. I always took his prize picks. But the next one,
Same here. Same.
the next one's Prime Paul George or Jason Tatum.
Paul George.
Paul George.
Current Tatum.
Yeah.
Current Tatum. I'm taking prime Paul George.
That's not even close.
Is that
I
not
haven't-
close?
Oh, it's not close.
I'll take Paul George, but I think it's close.
I have his
No.
MVP. I have his MVP season jersey. In my,
Oh, where?
Yes.
Yeah, I like
He was
them on the
third.
Thunder. I really like
Oh,
Paul
yeah.
George. on the
So
Thunder.
clean.
He
He's one of
looked
my
very
favorite players
clean.
ever. He's one of my favorite
Yeah,
players.
he is, and he is because so the Bronx, like really 2013, 14 is when we played them.
Yeah.
Also 2012. Watching him against Braun, watching the way he played, his injuries was one of the few injuries that like I was like, damn, that really injuries suck. But most of the time, it's not players that I really care about. Like I'm a LeBron fan. Like I haven't really experienced an injury. So Paul George was like the first one where I was like, damn, that kind of sucks. I love Paul George for real.
Yeah, and
One of my
also
favorite
too,
players.
like he's the original like all pump fake Lakers first team. Like would have been Lakers. You know what I'm saying? Like, are you kidding me? Like Kyrie might be on that list with Kawhi, but Paul George was the first one on it, and like just like his handle is just I've never seen anything like it. Like I don't even like even Kobe didn't have a handle like that. Like I think
His is very smooth.
Kobe's era was like before all like the breaking down a dude, but like Paul George, like literally breaking down like a player, like mid range three. Yeah, he has it all. And he's a two-way player. And it's very
Yeah. I was gonna bring that up. His defense. I think Jason Tatum's defense this year definitely took a leap, but it's not MVP DPOY George. Come on, let's be serious, guys.
And he was never like gonna be put in that category of like top 5, top whatever. But like I think the best season he did have, like because the Giannis and Harden were always going to be in a different class that year, 3 years ago. But to be that third guy, like, and to be a finalist and to be all NBA first team, all-star starter, like no one was expecting that, especially after the injury you described. So for him, like that was just amazing. That was awesome. So,
yeah, it was good.
All right, I got 2 more for y'all. So this one's another Paul George one. Prime Paul George or prime Kawhi Leonard?
No, it's not close. Yeah, that's not close.
It's not close?
One's got to change.
No.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. What are you
I
doing
thought
here?
Paul George was over. Personally?
What? Over Kawhi?
Personally.
Yo, JTR does not know basketball.
Personally, I think Paul George is a better
Are you talking
offensive
from a
player.
skill standpoint, like a versatile offensive skill standpoint?
He's trying to save you. He's trying to throw you a shovel right now. He's trying to be like, yo, I'm gonna dig you out. Don't worry.
Hear me out.
From a handles, clears easily.
Like, what's Kawhi Leonard better other than like defense slightly? What's he better at?
Slightly? Yo, Kawhi Leonard is a top 5, top 10 perimeter defender of all time.
I think Kawhi is a better finisher for sure.
Scorer.
I think Kawhi is a better clutch performer.
Playoff riser.
Playoff.
Way off P.
Bro.
I don't hold one season against him. Although his Indiana playoff runs, like they actually are not as good as we remember them to be. Like quote unquote, taking LeBron in Game 7 is cool and all, but like the numbers.
It was really Roy Hibbert and David West.
The nostalgia gave me on that series. That was amazing to watch.
Yeah, it was amazing. But Kawhi took out everyone in one run. Yeah. Everyone.
My thing with that one was like my thought process with making this one was because I was thinking about the Clippers next year. Kawhi's coming back obviously, and I think that's Paul George's team. I don't know if that's crazy, but after seeing their last playoff run, I think it's going to be Paul George's team, and Kawhi Leonard's obviously going to be really good. But I think he's going to take like the second option, and then especially in the playoffs, he's going to be the main scorer.
That's a different question, though. If you would
have, I know, but that's just what made me think about it.
No, I get you, man.
Because that makes more sense. Like, who would you think would have a better season? I'll still say Kawhi Leonard, but that's a closer question than prime Kawhi and prime PG.
And the thing is, like, if PG does end up having a better season than Kawhi, no one's gonna blink an eye because he's capable. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
I think the first myself included, we get trapped in like the first, second, third option conversation so much, but like with the tandem like PG and Kawhi, like it doesn't matter either night. It could be whatever. Like Kawhi could very simply be like, oh no, you got the first 10 games of the season, you on fire, keep it going. You know, and if PG wins MVP next year, like no one's gonna be that insanely surprised when it comes to like the Clippers who should win MVP, because like
they have a very good team around them too. Very, very quietly. They've kept Nicholas Batum, kept Norman Powell. Well, they traded for Norman Powell, got Robert Covington, still got Zubac on that team, got rid of the dead weight like Pat Bev and Lou Will, Montrez. They've built a very, very good team. Are they gonna do anything? Probably not. But
bro, I'll say it. I've been talking to my friends, talk about it. On paper, they're the best team in the league, straight up.
The Clippers?
Yeah.
Best team in the league, straight up.
They're closest to it. Closest to it, yeah.
On paper, like there's nothing you can say. They got everything.
It just depends how Kawhi comes back.
Coaching, star power, 1 through 10, versatility. John Wall, we didn't talk about.
That's the smallest thing to it. They need a backup big because I think they just lost Hartenstein. But besides that,
Reggie, John Wall as your point guard, like you said on that.
Yeah.
League's going small anyways. Like when you face a big, you'll deal with it. That's only going to be
Zubac is completely capable.
But in the West, what big you going up against except AD and Jokic? Like you'll figure it out then. But they're primed for the finals. But
yeah, for sure.
All right, so this was the last one, and this is going into next season. Kevin Durant or Jokic on your team to make a championship run?
Jokic.
What?
Kevin Durant or Nikola Jokic, bro?
Yeah, to make a championship. I'm taking
just
KD.
to win a championship, nothing else.
Yeah, don't age is not consideration. Injuries are obviously not going to happen. You're not going to take Kevin Durant?
Nikola Jokic will not get swept by the Celtics last year.
Yes, Shub, come on, help me out here. Shub, help me out.
Give him another shovel, bro. Dig him out again. Give
me the guy that's done it like multiple times.
We all done it with Steph Curry. Come on, bro. We can all do it. Steph.
All right.
Bro. Even
that
Nikola
helps. No,
Nikola could have done it with Steph Curry, bro. Come on. With that Warriors team, come on, bro. We talk about the greatest team ever, bro.
I'm too high on KD. I think that's what it is.
Are you guys both really high? I know JTR is. You're really high on KD too? Chubb.
He and Giannis are my favorite players in the league.
Did that sweep getting swept like bring him down a little bit in your rankings?
Never, not once. No.
Not in your favoritism, but like, he might not be as good as I thought he was anymore.
Yeah. No.
Where did you have him before?
I think the injuries I think the injuries, like, we got to notice, like, post Achilles, like, after he came back, like, he's had a 6-week injury, like, every season after, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
With the knee or something, and, like, get swept under the rug. But before those 6-week injuries, he's in the MVP conversation, like, October to December, like, every single year. I'm saying every single year, but it's been, like, a couple years past 2 seasons. So, like, what that says is crazy. Now, he didn't perform in the playoffs. I don't think he's top 5. Like, so
where did you have him before the
this
playoffs?
Year?
I don't think KD was top 5 at the end of this season. He's not top 5.
Oh,
Jimmy better.
That's crazy.
That's not a crazy take. That's not crazy.
Top 5?
KD's 6'7".
He could be 5. I have KD 5'6".
Yeah, same tier.
If you can say 5, I just can't think there's 5 better players than KD.
I will name them.
Name them.
Go ahead, name.
Steph?
Yeah.
No order.
All right. Yeah.
Steph, Giannis, Jokic, Ron, and Kawhi.
Joel Embiid. You don't think Joel Embiid is better than Kevin Durant? He has a better season than Kevin Durant.
Did he? Oh,
yes.
yeah. He was about to be MVP.
Yeah, he had a better season.
I don't think LeBron did.
Luka? Nobody said Luka?
I'm sorry.
That's the Lakers fan.
I always forget Luka.
LeBron's clear.
Replace Braun with Luka. I'm sorry.
And then you had
exactly.
And Kawhi didn't play last year, so I'm not going to count him.
That's fine.
That's still 6'7".
And give Braun, yeah.
And I don't think LeBron's better, and I think Luka's debatable.
No, he's not. Oh my god.
I think Embiid's debatable. Debatable. Season wise, he had a better season. I'm talking about like just player.
Yeah. Player rankings out of next season, I think KD is 5'6". I think him and Braun are like interchangeable.
Braun's still the best player in the league. Let's be honest, guys. Let's be honest.
When he wants to be.
When he wants to be. 56-50 back to back.
He's in the 8-10 range. No cap.
You're a Knicks fan. You're in the 8 to 10 range, bro. Come on.
You're just chatting, bro.
Every year.
So
if you believe the word you said on this podcast.
Can we talk about, so after the bubble, I remember my rankings. I had Jimmy Butler barely over Jokic for 10, which is crazy after the bubble.
That's not. Is that crazy though? It's not that crazy. Back then, it's not that crazy.
He said back-to-back MVPs, which is crazy. But can we talk about how Jimmy Butler is top 10 whenever he wants to be? He just doesn't want to be the most
playoff riser.
You were gassing this dude up. No, Jimmy Butler.
Besides the Milwaukee series, which is a clear bad showcase on his career, because he's
an anomaly. All right,
you could consider it as an outlier.
So what do you do with that? With the guy that literally we have physical evidence does not give a living fuck about the regular season, but turns into prime Jordan during the playoffs. So
that's how I feel about Kawhi Leonard.
Yeah.
LeBron does. I think LeBron's one of the people that he obviously didn't turn like shit in the regular season, but he'll definitely turn it up in the playoffs.
No, but with Kawhi and Jimmy, Kawhi is like one of the best playoff risers of all time. Jimmy is making a case for it. Yeah, so I definitely see that.
So what do you? So my point is like, what do you do? 22-23 season. What do you do with Jimmy?
Top 10. Top 11.
You have to reserve a spot, even though he don't care about the regular season. Like, what do you do?
Yeah, because I'm putting trust in you to say that. Same reason that for a while I was saying that guys like Paul George and guys like Damian Lillard weren't good enough for the playoffs, and even Giannis at some point weren't good into the playoffs. So I was ranking them lower than they really could have been.
Right.
I'm gonna rank you higher because I think you're gonna be better in the playoffs.
Better in the playoffs, yeah.
So I think it's only fair to do that because we do it the other way around. We like to do these 5 questions before we get the guests, before we enter the pod.
Now I'm telling you, we talked a lot of basketball. These questions are not going to be about basketball.
What are the questions? We don't even have a set question. Do you know the questions?
I sent them to y'all. Father, anyone?
You don't send us anything. You haven't sent us.
This is crazy. It's been there.
Hey, maybe he was right. You could do the other guy could do the pod without somebody else.
Apparently, I'm useless. I don't
know.
Let's see how far we
bro. All right, we got it. Questions to ask all guests. We're gonna start off with we don't know if you with a shorty, with a woman, don't have one or not, whatever. What are your top 5 things you look in a woman?
I love that question. So I am single. And I caught up with my ex this is random. I caught up with my ex the other day and I straight up looked at it. I was like, yeah, this account would not be where I'm at if like we didn't break up. Like straight up. Like,
this is crazy. I made this
account 2 years ago, right? We broke up 6 months after I made the account. And I was like, well, I can really focus now.
He said, "I'm up now. What's up?"
Yeah, and she told me, she was like, "Yeah, I saw one of your tweets got noticed by LeBron, and me and my roommate were cussing you out." We're like, "Wow, that's crazy." And I was like, "Yeah, damn straight." Yeah. So slight flex there, but to the question, top 5 things I look for in a woman. Just this is a bad answer, but energy, like your energy, like you just gotta be present. You know, like your energy and like.
It's not that bad of an answer.
Like, just be noticeable, like you're present in the moment, and like like present energy, and like there. Energy for sure. Ambition, 100%. You gotta like care about something. Like lazy days are cool. Like we don't have a ton of them, but like you gotta give a shit about something. Ambition, like. You gotta be kind for sure. Like you gotta be nice to people we don't even know, like in public or whatever. Like if I can notice those kinds of things, like that's a keeper for sure. Intelligence, emotional intelligence, gotta be. I want to know someone who knows themselves, like internally, like and how to process things. Not all the way, but just like some source of foundation of like emotional intelligence. And 5. Like you gotta have some swag to you. Like you gotta know like some style, like some swag to you. Like you gotta know how to be a baddie. Like if you know how to be a baddie, you don't gotta be a baddie all the time, but if you know how to be a baddie, like when you need to be, like I'd appreciate that.
So. Style is kind of. I'm surprised. No face, no body, no nothing like that.
Oh, I mean, yeah.
Come on,
that gotta be in it. That gotta be in it.
Face, body.
The rest of them, you had very nice responses.
Of course. I mean, that's the foundation.
Very wholesome.
Very wholesome responses.
Okay. All right. Yeah. No, I mean, the foundation is like attraction. So, like, if I'm physically attracted to you, like, what past that? That's how I was answering the question.
Okay.
I was running on the hypothetical. I'm already physically attracted to this woman. So. But yeah, face is pretty much.
That's like a given. Like, if you're not liking the face.
How do you feel about hygiene?
How do I feel about hygiene?
Yeah, that's a crazy way to ask the question.
What?
But like, you feel me?
That was a good question. Like, it's top tier, necessary, bro. Like,
I think hygiene is probably in my top 5 facts.
You would think that's implied when you're growing up. I don't know what to tell you, man.
Nah, it's not, bro.
I had to cut some sometimes short because of that. So
See, I'm
girl.
telling you, you would think
I'm a
so,
girl.
but it's not.
No, from a girl, I'm just like, yeah, I gotta admit, this is crazy. Like, I made up so many pet names that I don't have a pet, but I was like, yo, shit. Yo, Brady needs my help or some shit. Like, this is my dog. I don't got a dog.
Yo, I've done that multiple times. I've said people have gotten in car accidents to prevent me hanging out with people. And then we have it written down as age-old question, which is hilarious.
It is the age-old question.
Gay son or thought daughter?
Dude, tell me why. Other day, bro. I'm taking gay son 10 times out of 10. I'm taking gay son
That's there too.
10 times out of 10, bro. Let me tell you why, bro. On God, bro. Tell me why in a studio, like there's a TikTok, like 40 women are in there, just like taking it's labeled as a dick riding course. Like,
What?
Wait, what?
And this woman, you know how you promote things, right? Like you have a class, like you want to sign up for a class, like, and she was talking over the TikTok super like elegantly, and she was like, "Come on through to like this dick riding class. We'll teach you all those things and stuff." And it's 40 women in a studio with mats, and they're just pretending to like, you know, whatever. I'm just like, bro, what the fuck is going on? And then, I mean, I don't have a problem with OnlyFans or whatever, but like the promotional content you see to like entice people to go purchase your OnlyFans, I've never seen anything like it. It's the craziest thing.
So based on your question, you would rather see your son taking that dick riding class?
No, because thought daughter implies all those activities that I just described. Gay son could be. I have a ton of gay friends. They're hella cool. So.
Shout out them for real. If you were stuck on an island, 5 essentials you would want to bring with you.
Ooh.
Very hard hitting questions, huh?
Gotta bring my. No, I love it. Gotta bring my phone. Do
Yeah,
I get
Twitter Spaces?
I don't get. Do I get reception on this or not?
Yeah.
It's your hypothetical word, whatever you want to live in, bro.
Sure, I'll bring my phone in that case. My phone, my laptop, unlimited supply of water.
Is that a thing?
Yeah.
I don't know if you could just do that.
It's implied that you got.
I mean, his world, bro. Like, what are you on it now?
A Taco Bell cantina, like planted next somewhere on the island, because that's like my guilty pleasure. My late night drunchy, I'm trying to get over it, is Taco Bell, sadly. But that's 4, and then a girl. Yeah.
Very solid answer.
Much else.
Your last thing came into it. Favorite sex position?
Nah, bro.
Yeah, I told Med not to include that one.
I'm celibate.
Shout out celibacy. So if you told me not to include that one, which one would you rather me ask?
I have to look at the list. I forgot.
That was the last one.
Nah, there's one more. Favorite music artist right now?
I'll tell you off the show. Favorite music artist right now? All time is Drake, but right now definitely Blast. Blast for sure.
Who?
Blast. BLXST.
You're not tapped in, man?
Med's not tapped in.
No, I'm not tapped in. I do not know.
It's good. It's like chill rap, like definitely different lane for sure. I like it.
Are you talking about like 6 Lag Black?
No.
About to see.
The R&B artist. Y'all know who Blast is?
I've seen the name. I haven't heard his music, but I've seen the name for sure. It's like with an X in it.
Yeah, with the X in the middle.
Yeah.
Never heard of him.
him out.
Shout out him for real. You doing your thing for real.
I'm seeing. I mean, Baby too. I'm blasting Baby all the time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, shout out Baby. Everybody Baby. Yeah, that should wind it down. If anyone got any last thoughts.
I wrote Summer League. We are not talking about that shit. I am not.
Who won the championship for Summer League?
I don't want to talk about it. Now that
I know who lost. I know who lost in the
Y'all were in the
finals.
finals, right? Y'all were in the finals.
Who was in the finals?
We lost to the Trailblazers.
New York
Knicks
and
and
Portland.
Shout out Dame. Finally got his ring for real.
He did not get the ring.
Oh, I know this dude. Yeah, I know this dude. Yeah, I know this dude.
It's funny because Dame found out they won the Summer League championship like on IG Live.
Yeah.
Oh,
man.
word.
Yeah, he was like,
where my ring at?
he was at the pool with Anthony Simons, and he was like, "Yo, they just won." And he was like, "Oh," and then you hear Anthony's like, "Oh, word," and then they tapped in. They were like going crazy.
Oh yeah. Shout out Dame. Wasting his time. But yeah, winding down. Hour and 54. This is up there with
Damn.
the Holla one, longest pods.
Sorry for over talking. I don't
That's
Nah,
good.
shout out you, bro. It was a
Conversator
great
for real.
pod.
Yeah.
W pod. We are gonna get you out of here before we do. Let them know where they can find you, everywhere they can find you. Shit like that.
Yeah, just the main one right now pending. Just at OVO Lake Show on Twitter. On Twitter, I do spaces like once a week with all this off-season drama. Extremely Lakers focused. All Kobe pics and clips like whenever I can upload that. And just trying to get like the right Laker information out when I can. So follow me on there, and we're gonna gear up for the season. Me and a couple homies just trying to do our own thing with like post game spaces, halftime spaces for the season in October. So tap in there. OVO Lake Show on Twitter.
Tap in for real. Shout out you, bro. Appreciate you. Larry,
appreciate
I don't know if Larry got the stream deck working, but if he was here, stream deck clapping, you feel me? Yeah. Shout out Sub for real. Yeah. Shout out Sub.
Appreciate y'all. Y'all did your thing.
Appreciate you for coming. Father, any last words before we do get out of here?
This is a great pod, man. Thanks for coming on. Love the conversation we had today. I don't know. It was fun.
Yeah, no, thank you, man. I'm rooting for Jimmy. He's gonna get a ring real soon here. I promise.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
JTR, nobody rooting for the Knicks, bro. They was showing love. He was showing love to the Miami the whole time.
Hey, Knicks
Father was
getting
showing
Mitch.
love.
Hot take: Knicks getting D Mitch a better chance than us getting Kyrie. I'll say that.
Damn,
that,
why'd you
Father?
just have to say that, bro? Damn.
Mhm.
Just,
Oh,
living Miami
you're
fantasy.
still a playing team with D Mitch.
But the Knicks might nick. You never know.
Yeah.
The Knicks will definitely nick. JTR, any last words before we do end it?
We're definitely getting Donovan Mitchell. We're gonna be a top 4 seed, and it's been JTR in a foreign car, and we're out.
Oh my God.
That is it. Appreciate everybody for listening, tuning in wherever you did listen. Like the stream. Make sure you share with your friends. Again, shout out Sub OVO Lake Show on Twitter. Check everything he's doing out. Appreciate you coming on for real, bro. WS Pod. Very great conversations. As I said, like the stream, share with your friends, comment timestamps that we should make into clips because we need to do that. Other than that, bye. Yeah, we